Good. Hey, everybody. And Rameet wanted to talk to you about that, Christina, so you guys can connect later
Sure.
about the red tent. Okay. Got it recording. Can we see everyone? Can we hear everyone?
Mhm.
Yeah, I can hear everything good on my end.
Boy, first
Mm.
time it's worked well in quite a while. Okay. Welcome. If Gentle Thunder gets here, great. She can join in. If not, I told her we'd be recording, so she can come in to it later. It has been a while since the board has met. The only other board member is Gentle Thunder, and we have one associate board member, my friend Kat. Um, Kat's been really busy with some things in Colorado and um, Alaska. So she may drop in, we never know. But she's an affiliate or what's the word we use, Shami? Associate.
Non-voting.
Yeah, non-voting, right, exactly.
Yeah.
So she's there to help as she can. So why don't we start around the circle and then we'll do some kind of an opening prayer. Who you are, your name, where you are, and maybe just a couple minutes on why you're here. So I'm up here. So let's go around. Start with you, Shami. Do we lose her?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Okay, there she's
Oh,
back. You're back.
I'm freezing, huh?
Yeah,
you're back.
Ugh.
you're back.
Take me back.
Do we
Country
have to?
road.
All right, so we'll start again. Did you hear that or not, Shami?
Yeah, we're gonna start and when
No. Okay.
um,
So we'll start now and we'll do name, rank, serial number, where you are, why you're here. Just brief, just to so
yeah,
everyone gets to
and
know everything.
I'd like to also those who are joining us like Haley and I'm sorry, I'm not looking at your name at the moment. Christina, okay.
Yeah.
And Ramit, I'm gonna put you all in our little agenda. So if you just like can, I guess I have your name right there. But just give me your email address too, just so I have it documented. That'd be super great in your intro. Thanks. And I'd like to also add for intro, like what brought you here for those who are just joining us for the first time.
That's what I said. You missed it because you went frozen.
Great, you're on it.
I'm solid. So go ahead. You start it, Shami. We're going to go round circle.
Mm. Well, foremost, I'd like to thank Creator for bringing us all together. Thank to all of our safeties and securities and our hearts, connecting and weaving this web of a new way of living in harmony with all living beings. I'm grateful to weave this with all of you and feel into where this web expands. So, with that,
Who are you?
bringing all
What's
of
your
our
name? What's your name and where are you?
yeah, I just like, at the beginning we open up, remember, Grey Wolf? I know it's been a
No,
while.
you froze and you didn't hear that we're going to round the circle and then opening prayer. So you missed it.
Well, that just doesn't make sense to me, so it's okay.
It doesn't have
Okay.
to.
All right. I'm Shemaine.
Yeah.
Most people call me Shami. I'm in Taos, New Mexico, and I love the earth, and it's my sanctuary. And I have a connection to sanctuaries of the earth mother because Jim and I were talking about creating sanctuaries in the first week that we met, and
Yeah.
everything flowed from there. And on this ride of bringing the elders in deeper connection to our ancestral wisdom and um, and to the roots of the earth. And by trade, I've been a body worker for like 13 years. of all integrated sorts. And I've been popping up like healing sanctuaries at different events and whatnot, and had some time in my van, traveled a lot. Now I'm rooted here, and also have background in interior architecture and design. And I love art and I love education, and I'm a forever growing Gemini. I think that covers
Good.
it. And I'm Cuban, Sicilian, Hungarian, so I love black beans
And
and
rice.
pasta and risa. Yeah.
Thank you.
Salud.
Salud. Alien.
Hello, I'm Alien. I'm from India, from a place called Kalimpong, which is in the foothills of the Himalayas. Uh, I'm professionally trained as a textile and fashion person, and I'm an artist, so I do a lot of textile art. But textile art that is sent or given to me through instructions and visions and with prayer. Um, I actually, it's amazing how we're asking this question because it's the same things, but things have changed. So I'm flowing where the universe and where the divine is taking me. I've ended up writing stories about our ancestors, and through the art, I share the stories of our ancestors about Mother Nature. I've been teaching similarly, which is completely new for me. So I've been teaching young children, college students about design, but also reconnecting to our roots and to Mother Earth. Um, I'm yeah, Lepcha, a tribe from a tribe called Lepcha, and I was in the city for a long time, but I moved back. Been about 5, 6, 7 years now, and I'm reconnecting to Mother Earth, to my roots, and to myself.
Mm.
But I think my deepest calling would be connection to Mother Earth and the wisdom of our ancestors, and kind of bridging the gap between the old and the new, and to be able to share that in a way that we can remember and connect again. So I think, in short, that's who I am, and that's what I do.
Thank you. Upala. Ramit.
Popela.
Hi, everybody. So my name is Rameet Singh, and I currently live in Sedona. I just relocated here about 1 month ago, and it was a very strong divine calling. I say like my whole life has been preparing me to come to Sedona and work with the vortices and really step into my next rebirth. I'm originally from Toronto, Canada. Well, Greater Toronto Area, Ontario. There's a lot of beautiful Indigenous energy there. My background is from India as well. My dad is Sikh, my mom is Hindu. And I grew up with a deep integration of the yogic way of life. Also, my parents were spiritual, so I got to really embrace all the cultures. By profession, I am my doctorate in counseling psychology. So I'm a holistic psychotherapist, a life coach. I have my private practice, but I also, work with workshops and teaching and lecturing and all that good stuff. But my real passion is to bridge deep healing with understanding the way energy works and bridging the wisdom of Mother Earth. I am a lover of Earth. And what brought me here was divine synchronicity. When I first met Jim and went to the sanctuary there, I was in tears because I felt like there was just this soul connection with everybody. And I'm like, finally, this is what I've been waiting for all my life. I just knew it in my heart. So I'm really here to co-create and offer a bit of myself and my voice along with everybody else to bring in this new consciousness and to really come into community and raise consciousness. So thank you. Mhm.
Thank you. Our mate down under.
Oh, hello. I'm Christopher. I'm in Queenstown, New Zealand. You don't get much further south than this. Um, what am I doing in sanctuaries? It's a little bit tricky to try and describe it. I usually don't try and describe it. I take people on journeys or exercises. I help people find how to actually connect with themselves, with consciousness, with Mother Earth. I've been able to talk to trees and other nature beings, spirits, since I was about 4 years old. So it's sort of something I've had from day one, really. Um, I find with Sotum, their journey is very much what mine is, which is helping people connect back to the earth, remembering what we've lost, which is that connection. It's having a holistic model of society where we go beyond brain activity, the perception of separation. Because when I'm in nature and I'm working with the mother, they know no separation. The only creatures I know that have any concept of separation are humans, and it's a brain-based activity. Our consciousness, our awareness doesn't know separation. And I help people listen to that aspect of themselves as well. Background, I do have bits of paper called NLP, hypnotherapy, Reiki. There's a few other bits and pieces I've done, but I pretty much do my own thing. I use labels when I need to, but if you want to know me, I'm not any of the labels. I'm the one that sits down and talks to nature and talks to trees and then takes people on journeys, opening them up. That's it.
Thanks,
Talking,
Chris.
talking stick in the
And
middle.
and an amazing photographer.
Yeah, incredible photographer. You're right. Christina,
Hello. First off, I never use like Zoom or many electronics at all, so this is very uncomfortable right now. So I'm not sure if I'm supposed to see everyone. Am I supposed to be seeing everybody?
You can
So,
you can swipe
okay.
and
We'll
see
go through it
everybody
another
if you
time.
want.
It's fine. I don't want to take time away to like, have a lesson on technology, but to just give you a brief summary of myself, I am Italian American. I am from the New England area, Massachusetts. I was born and raised in a big, large Italian family, raised Catholic, and definitely recovered from that upbringing. But one thing that I highly connected to as a child was ritual, and I consider myself very ritualistic, and I honor cycles of nature because that's a ritual in itself. And one particular calling currently is in the divine feminine. So I work with women. I'm studying midwifery. I'm attending births. I've been to many births now. I was trained in physical therapy prior to this evolution of moving to Camp Verde, Arizona. I'm I'm a huge cheerleader for the human. When somebody asks me what my spirit animal is, it's human. We are spirited animals, and that's awesome. And I feel like one of my callings is to bring us back to that love, that love for who we actually are, what we came in here with in the physical. I love working with all kinds of spirits and energies, but my strength is in the physical human design, working with bodies and strengthening bodies and helping women birth babies safely and efficiently and even like ecstatically. And so, yeah, that's my connection to the Earth Mother, and that's how I honor her. And I am just, honored to be here with all of you guys and learning more about the sanctuaries and consider this space where we are in Camp Verde kind of like a hive and a hub for other people. we have there's a loud truck going by, but we've given our property, like half of our we have an acre of land, so half of our acre is donated to the community, and it's donated for sweat lodge and Anipi ceremonies, red tents, healing events, all kinds of gatherings that bring in community for the healing and the connection of our Earth Mother. And so, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, other than being a mama of four and homeschooling and just kind of staying connected to my physical location where I'm at. So,
Thank you for sharing.
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you
And
so
Hailey?
much, everyone.
Yes.
Likewise, really
You're
appreciate
next.
this.
Mhm. Hi, I'm Hailey Love, and I am from Grand Rapids, Michigan, born and raised. However, I've traveled quite a bit throughout the world, and really love bringing cultures and communities and different people from different perspectives together and integrating those different perspectives in my own practice. And I came down to Arizona to start working with an amphibian medicine called Combo. Really, after I had my own healing experience of with the medicine, and then just deeply desiring to share that with others, and being able to hold space for others in their healing process. And I consider myself a lifelong learner. I'm always wanting to learn. I still feel very like infant in ways, but yet I feel ancient in other ways. So I'm still I'm balancing that where I'm willing to learn and be here and learn from all of you. And I Jim and I connected, Gray Wolf and I connected in March. I had recently moved to Rimrock after moving out of my teachers, my combo, and the wife was combo and the husband is a Bufo practitioner. So I was working very closely with combo and Bufo there. And then it was time for me to transition out, move to Rimrock, and very shortly after ran into Gray Wolf through a mutual friend, and we got talking about his vision here for sanctuaries. I came up and volunteered to help paint and with some others, and we got to talking to his vision, and it had been a prayer on my heart to hold space for people in that way, and to hold a sanctuary space and a safe haven. And whether that was me, finding that for my, like doing that and going out on the road myself and doing that, or finding the community to walk alongside to make that happen. And I'm very thankful to have community alongside me, like you all to do this, and especially Gray Wolf, being here and physically stewarding this home and being able to pour my feminine and my masculine energy into this sanctuary and hold space and steward the land as well as the home. So I have many visions and what I see this place transforming into, and getting more community guarding, more community involvement, having more workshops and different facilitators leading, a lot of collaboration, and yeah. So I'm happy to partner with you all in that vision.
Thank you. So I think you all know me, for good or bad. Why don't we shift into that prayer? Shami, you want to take it? And then I'll just say a few words and then we can open this up.
Ah, wow, laughter is medicine. Ah, taking a sweet, nice, deep breath of that beautiful oxygen we have cultivated with the trees, with the plants, with Mother Earth. Bringing in that beautiful hue of all of our Earth Mother, of our breath, into the depths of our bones as we open this circle tonight. Thank you for your hearts. Thank you for all the hearts connected to your hearts and how this web of life expands and contracts and expands again. Thank you for all of the cycles of the seasons as they reflect the cycles and seasons within our blood and bones and being as energy. Energy that gets built up, it births, it peaks, it winds down, it goes deep into the depths of the soil, dies, and births again. Thank you, Creator, for this awareness, this consciousness that we all weave together in sharing the stories of our Earth Mother, of our ancestors, of the reverence of this planet, and that every foot we take upon this earth, may it be gentle. And may we be gentle with ourselves, each other, and all the beings that we cannot physically see or touch or hear, sending love and safety, security, nourishment to all those across the land, across the waters and the mountains. I am asking for divine guidance today that has brought us all here to help guide us through a conversation that can plant seeds to root this winter, to cultivate a very abundant spring for our communities, wherever each one of us is stepping upon, weaving with. I pray for all of our well-beings. I pray for our ability to deeply listen and hear where we're being guided, and to find that balance between the head and the heart. So thank you for all of the animal spirits that are with us today, to all of your lineages that have brought you to where you are here right now in this present. May we be here now and cultivate for a greater future for the 7 generations after. Aho mitake ase.
Aho.
Oh,
Thank you, niece. That was
Thank you.
thank you, Shani.
Thank you all. Mwah.
I just got a message from Gentle Thunder. She was going from California to Hawaii, and the trip was a mess. So she's about ready to collapse. She's going to try to sit down a little bit and then come on. But I told her we were recording. So anyway, we'll send her some love. She said she's with us here in spirit. And
Wonderful.
she's in Hawaii, so she's bringing the islands in, which is
Good.
great.
Yes.
This,
Wow.
yeah,
Prayers up.
this circle really feels good tonight. I don't know about you guys who have been board members, but it feels, yeah, I don't know the word.
It feels like it's coming together.
Grounded.
Grounded,
Also-
coming together, yes.
Solidify.
Oh, I forgot, I'm the
Pulsating.
author and I don't have the words. Okay, yes, correct. We're global and local at the same time. And that was a great question you had, Aliane, and we'll dig into that later. How do we balance that global and local pieces? Things have been moving really, really fast. I guess I should say just a little bit. I think most of you know it, but maybe not. The vision for me of sanctuaries came a lot of years ago, my first vision quest up on the mountain in the Black Hills. And it came after I ran into black elk who had been dead for a year before this happened. And my teachers put me right up on the mountain. So the vision, just in a nutshell, was I was looking down from 30,000 feet, which I fly at, and at least one of our new people flies at, I know. And I saw these communities. I saw the people moving around. I was part of the communities and I was up there. I was Eagle, Wombly. And I saw 100 around the globe and I saw 11 on Turtle Island. And here in Turtle Island, I even saw where some of them were. And Sedona was always like the first. And when I saw this, I knew something was being created. I knew they were to come together, not that they'd all be the same, not that we're all by the same name or the exact same mission, but I could see them working together, and it was in the future. I knew that much. I didn't know when. And then after coming off the mountain, I briefly told my teachers what I had seen, and then I forgot about it. I couldn't remember at all for 7 years. And then when I moved full time to Sedona, what a surprise, it came back. So my first book was written in Sedona, and it just flowed back into me. And now, well, back then we tried to get some land. We were ready to establish a sanctuary, and it didn't work. Timing was wrong. What we established was a really strong virtual presence. We had thousands of people around the globe. And that was nice, but it wasn't creating what we wanted or needed. So we kind of put everything on the side for a while. And then when we all started coming together, it felt right, but like there was still some pieces of the puzzle missing. Tonight, I'm feeling more of those pieces are here. And we've had some people already come and go on the board and brought in their amazing expertise and their talents. And that'll happen more as we go along, I guarantee you. Things have been moving so fast here. For the last 3 weeks, I feel like I've been on a merry-go-round that got out of control. People like, well, Christina, we pour a lodge at her place too, on occasion. And we do other things there. And I started to see, oh, these communities are connected. And then a new friend, Charlie, who Christina also knows, showed up and we started talking. So we had a meeting the other day. They're looking at a big piece of land here, they being a loose group of people. And I sat in on that meeting, and that was powerful. So that would be a different land use. That would be agriculture and probably some ceremony space. And anyway, all these other pieces are starting to come together. Our friend Mary Bowles and her farm with horses, that's there. We can use that. We are using that. So I started to see that what I had seen in Sedona as this first sanctuary was not one place, but a mixture. And that's where we started. And then when Rameet showed up, there's other people who are showing up new, and they're like, wow, why am I here? And why did I do this? And it's just felt natural. We sat down and literally started creating after about 20 minutes of drinking coffee. And Hailey and I today sat down half the day and we're creating other things. Chris and I are about to create some online things. I'm just feeling that energy building. I'm not exactly sure where to go with it, but I think it'll guide us. For me, the biggest shift since we all started was this understanding that our main goal was to work with nature, to reconnect with the mother, to do what she's telling us to do and stop being arrogant human beings. And to, like Christina said, let's move into our best self as human animals, because we are just one animal here. Nothing special about us except supposedly we have a brain. So that's kind of where I'm at. Anybody from the original board want to add to that before we start? Or did I cover it okay?
Yeah, that
I
was
feel it.
beautiful, Jim.
Okay.
Go ahead, Christopher.
Yeah, I was just going to agree with it as well. You've pretty much covered it, Jim.
Okay.
Um,
Good.
It's an ever-changing and evolving organization. Even when there hasn't looked like there's things happening, we haven't met as a board for a while. We've definitely had stuff going on in the background, and I'm not aware of that having stopped since I got directly involved a year ago.
And that's a good point. And the reason we went into a recess, if you will, almost all of us were on the road. Being bridges. We are all bridges, every one of us. And I feel that so strongly, stronger than ever. Hailey and I are calling in people, not intentionally, they're just showing up. We had Ryan here for a couple days. He was here for the lodge. Ryan is from Albuquerque, yeah?
Mhm.
Albuquerque. And yeah, he's part of the White Buffalo family, and he's the one who connected us up with the White Buffalo family. And
Oh,
he wants
okay.
to be involved, and he wants to have something like this in Albuquerque. So the pieces are just really just flowing together. So thanks, Chris. I'm glad you said that. That's really important. I think Ryan was really impressed what we're doing. He wants to get back here. He was talking about some of the things that we have talked about before, we as a board, recording some of the elders, which sadly, I guess I'm one of now, but recording some of the real old ones, like Sakina Blue Star. So he's going to come back pretty soon, hopefully in December, and we're going to sit and record Sakina and start those records that Robert was talking about. Robert was here too, a few weeks back, I guess, for a couple days, and he'll be here again in the spring. We can talk about that when we talk about Wings of Wisdom and
Waves of wisdom.
Waves of Wisdom. Thank you. I did that all last year, right up to the event. So, and he's offered his technological skills and to help with this place. So I think what we're seeing is two separate pieces. Those of you who are at a distance, those who are now forming here, because we need this here in order to make whatever this is happen. We do have challenges. We'll get into that in a little bit. But why don't we open there with how do we want to do this thing? Well, anyone that has a question of anyone in the group or the group, just hands up and we'll give you the talking stick. It can be one of us or one of the news people. Shami, I can always count on you. You're good. You're quick.
I just wanted to add on to the fact that I feel really powerful about this winter being a time for co-curation. And I feel like our seasons for sanctuaries have almost been flipped. I feel like, as far as the council goes, we were like in hibernation as a group
Yes.
the last few months, you know? And but there were so many seeds that were planted during all of our travels
Yes.
that now feels like this time where our roots are sprouting, and that creation piece that you're speaking of, Jim, is really what I'm feeling heavily on. And I'm really resonating, Christina, with the Red Tent and the work you're doing with women and body sovereignty and birthing, because something that I've been cultivating a lot here has been with our sisterhood and the strength of the pack of the sisterhood. And then in alignment with that is the strength of brotherhood and how we unite and how we curate our strengths together to fulfill this mission. So yeah, I just was reflecting on the seasons and how they're almost how they shift between our individuation and our personal endeavors and as a council. And that's what we're trying to weave together to create a more cohesive output, I guess, or reach and expansion of the web, the strengthening of those threads. So thank you. Talking stick in the middle.
Thanks.
I'll just share.
Rameet.
Yeah, I think what's really interesting is how, as you're mentioning, can we all have something unique to offer, but how can it come in a coherent way? Coming from a lot of the, the yogic tradition where we talk about, the goddess, the mother, the sacred father, the spirit, so I've been kind of looking at how I can sort of harmonize that with a lot of the indigenous wisdom. And I do find there is a beautiful connection there. But I'm very curious about that unfoldment of kind of bringing, both this world and the world from India together, but the ancient wisdom of India, and really offering people this glimpse of how it's all, in some level, based upon this consciousness of Mother Earth and Spirit, but just in different language or different angles, and how each of these can be tools for transformation. I'm also curious about when we each are kind of co-creating something, whether you're offering a workshop or you're doing this, or me and Jim are, grateful for doing this with Hailey, how do we bring everybody here into that space? Is it something that we share in the next meeting of what we've been doing to inspire each other? Is it something that, we bring you virtually to do a piece of it? So there's just some logistics things that I'm curious about. And also we've been talking, me and Grey Wolf, just about, at some point in the year, how can we all come together in one space and offering something of a 3-day event or something like that can be all of us together in this space, co-creating something to offer to the world. So some of that.
Great, thank you. I think Chris had his hand up, Ariane, and then got you next.
Yeah, I was just wanting to share in return to something you said, Rameet. I'm finding when we really connect with the mother and life itself, I find it doesn't matter what tradition, what culture, whatever we are. We might be using slightly different words, but we recognize we're talking about the same thing. And we've had a practice so far, we don't worry about using the same words or agreeing to describe in a particular way. I know when Jim talks about something in a particular way, I know what he means. So I understand it and convert it into anything I need to understand. Shami and I have worked together, we're on opposite sides of the globe or have been. And yeah, I feel the sessions that we've done together on our sharing circles, it's just flowed. And the same with Aliane. Aliane, what have we done? 1 or 2 talks together? 2, yeah. And we do absolutely zero preparation together. We get in there and it just flows. It's just learning to listen and tune into each other and having respect for each other, like both Shami and Aliane and Jim, who, we've all worked together at one place or another. And yeah, it's just flowed. One of the things that Jim and I learned and had to step into in the early days was anything we tried planning, like when I was over there, on day 3, we realized anything we planned didn't work. And, to give you an example, we'd been trying to find grounds for Waves of Wisdom for, 6 weeks before I arrived, at least. And we kept on going for 3 days after I arrived. And then we pull over the side of the road and Jim goes, "This isn't working." Meetings would be cancelled. The person we're supposed to meet would double book or being called out of the office. Always something happened, or the property we're going to look at for the Waves of Wisdom being double booked. Sitting on the side of the road, having acknowledged it wasn't working, we had to stir our minds into our hearts. Within 20 minutes, we had 2 phone calls offering us grounds. And that set us on the path. We realized once we got out of the way, got out of our heads and realized that what we're doing is coming from a heart-based community. And community can only come from the heart. That's where we feel the connection. It's not a thinking process, it's a feeling path. And that tends to hold the feminine energy. So we're feeling that feminine energy coming through. I've felt my male side starting to come from feelings, instincts, intuition in a way I've never felt before. And I'm getting emotional. No. It's just happened. And it hasn't stopped since that day on the roadside. And it's growing. Jim and I are constantly, monitoring and cross-checking with each other and, keeping us on that path of feelings, heart-based consciousness, because, every so often that thinking brain tries to come up and wants to plan something. We know it's not the way because it still doesn't work. even though I'm back in New Zealand. Doesn't work here, didn't work in the US. Okay, Mum, I've got it. Yeah, so that's just responding to something you shared, Rameet. Conversation helps, regular contact helps well, getting to know each other.
Mhm.
I find isn't a matter of getting to know each other's religions as much as getting to know each other personally. And once we have that personal connection, it flows from there. Talking stick in the middle.
Thank you, brother. Aliane?
So what I wanted to share a bit with Ramit was how it happened before. There are events, and physically, it's not possible for me to come to like America. So Jim and all do organize events, and we kind of help sometimes with like say the design and layout and some flyers and things like that. But energetically is how we end up helping each other, because even when I have projects here and I'm called to say make an installation of the mother and her womb, so before I begin, we bring it up together in the circle and we pray, and protectors are called in from everywhere, and I can feel and see Jim's bear around, and then there was Louisa, and her
Uh-huh.
animals were there, her guides were there. So I mean, the way we've been doing it, and it comes very naturally, is physically we try and do like the work that we can from away, especially digital stuff. Those are easier to do and organizing a bit. So that's something we'll get into, I think, a little bit in detail later.
Hmm.
But I think the work we do, if we can't physically be there, is energetic. It's prayers, and I would be, say, the vessel to channel an installation, but the space is held by everyone in the circle, which is amazing because I call in my protectors and my ancestors and everybody, but I have this backup of everybody, which is amazing, and it is more potent and it is more powerful and it is more loving. So I think the circle has been also that where we support each other and help energetically also, and put in extra prayers and things like that. So it's been working like that. Individually we bring in different projects, like I'm teaching the children, but then there's help, and if I need guidance, and if I need other perspectives, then it's brought into the circle to kind of share and kind of brainstorm about, and energetically kind of feel it out, and then more guidance is found and more clarity is found and more strength is found. So it's been going on like that, and that was my question again, how do we move forward, which we'll
Mhm.
get to, but so far that's how we've been working.
Yeah,
Just
I
wanna
really like that. Thank you. And maybe it's more because we have so many things on each of us to accomplish this thing. Maybe we schedule more, like if you have something going on, you're doing another display, Leanne, maybe we schedule then a meeting where we actually just talk about that, or any of us who has something going on. Chris is chasing kiwi birds. I don't know. Whatever. We can just do a meeting and focus. That might help that continuity. Otherwise, the person taking the lead is getting a lot of inputs, but all different times. So maybe that's just something to hold on to.
I just want to add to what you were saying around
Good.
how, since we all come from different parts of the world and we can't all physically be there, also using this platform as a way to support each other in the manifestation of our vision, because everybody here has the calling to help raise consciousness. You have a calling to share to the world. So how can we use this platform to support each other in sharing the vision? And even I was having this vision of, we all have, once a month or once in 2 months, we meditate at the same time. And we meditate at the
Yep.
same time, we say the same prayer, and we let our higher selves connect and co-create from that etheric level, from that energetic blueprint. So I feel like, yes, there's one thing to create events, but there's another thing for having us come together and really strengthen our vision and the calling of our soul. And I think it'd be interesting to have that done through asking certain questions in this group, such as, okay, let's do a guided meditation. Let's connect to our higher selves. Let's verbalize what's the thing that we know we must do then over the next few months to bring that consciousness into the world. So even having that sort of conversation is what I'm feeling that's coming through right now.
Good, thanks. Jami, you got a hand up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was all really beautifully said and explained, Alian, on how we have been working. And I think that because there is that flow, right? We're talking about working from this heart-centered space. What this council has really been good at, especially the ones who have been here the whole time, is this adaptability. Being able to adapt and being able to not freak out in situations where it's like, oh my gosh, we're, a month away and we don't have this, and this. And it takes a special person to say, okay, well, what do we need to actualize this? Okay. And trust that it's all is going to work out, according to Creator's plan. So it really is this, just trait of really being to surrender to the flow. And that being said, there is a balance between head and heart. There is a balance between having to logically say, okay, what do we need before different events? How do we create this consistency? How do we have our graphics, even, something as logical as that? How do we have that convey the energetic manifestation that we're co-curating together? And with that being said, with that energetic support, that's why we have called ourselves a council versus a board. We are a council with no hierarchy, even though technically to, the state standards of a nonprofit, we have to have this hierarchy. But when it comes down to it in our circles, we're weaving the way that we want to function. And the way that we function is without hierarchy. It is a council space where each and every one of our opinions, our experiences, our voices, our input is sovereign and collectively respected. So that's kind of just a bit of the kind of human it takes to be part of our organization.
We're not a traditional nonprofit anymore. You're quite right. It's shifted. And since I come out of traditional nonprofits, I get it. And I think we're doing quite well with it. We operate in circle. It's not perfect. We've ruffled each other's feathers at times. We've helped each other at times, but it is growing. And I think it's moving in a good direction. That's good, Shami. Good capture on that. Aliane?
So also the other thing I wanted to share, since we're kind of talking about how we are working, we did start these online kind of talks together, and it would be from within our circle or friends we know or people we know. So for example, we're speaking about the divine feminine and the sacred feminine. So it could be a topic where 3-4 of us come together, and that online we can coordinate timings and kind of put that out in terms of things we share, things we've learned, and so we try to do what we can within the circle and the kind of close other circles we have, the larger circle, and also together. Those are the things that we tried to do, and we did put up many at a point many recordings of talks that we did together. If we want to host a workshop online, and so there's also the potential of having this online space for these kind of sharings and things that we're I don't know, that we love and that we're called to together. So that's another thing we did.
Yes. And we'll table that for a few minutes, but I'm ready to restart those. And I do have people keep asking, when are we going to do more of them? So yeah, no, it's a good time for that. Here on the ground, things are moving. Like I said, we're creating programs amongst various. Up till now, it's been basically Hailey and I delivering whatever we're delivering, whether it's here or somewhere else. And, the drum circles and all that's great. But now this is great that we have extra people coming up, because whatever we do now, we have the power to do that, I think. What do you think? You're the other one carrying this part of the energy with me.
Yeah, I Well, in July, we spent a lot of time on the road, obviously. So our energy now has been being more rooted and grounded here at the Eagles Roost Sanctuary when it comes to bringing people here. I see us, networking and making those connections elsewhere, but however, it's really important that this sanctuary be bringing people in for ceremony, for educational opportunities, for spiritual mentorship, or those different opportunities that we're kind of all discussing. But yeah, I think so. We've got two things right now on the calendar for December that we're gonna offer. Um, we want to keep the integrity of ceremony to where we're not obviously charging people for ceremony. We don't. I can speak for myself. I don't really feel
Sure.
that is necessary for like drum circles and lodge. If people feel willing to donate, obviously that's different. But and so having other opportunities where money is coming into the sanctuary, because in order for us to keep this going, there has to be more financial means being brought to this space. And so yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. And it has to be a balance, I think. And actually, the two of us being here and doing this is good because we rock back and forth. Because we don't always see it the same way, which is absolutely positive thing because this thing is something that hasn't been done this way before. So it's a balance of being on the road and being here. And when we have to do each, because we're right in the heart of the prophecies right now. We know it because we are all light workers. We all see it, but most people don't. So we got to be here rooting this thing and planting the seeds, but we also have to be the seeds out there. And that's challenging. And we do need, and I've talked with some of you at different times about this, we've got to find more funding. And I'll open that up after we get done this question or comment thing. In order to do this properly. I've put everything I have into this. I don't have anything left in the accounts. It's okay. That was my intention going in. It took more than that because of the what it needed just to get this place livable. And even now, we're going through this challenge with heat. We haven't had the heater work for almost 2 weeks. No one gets back to me. My sister, who's a realtor, was supposed to help. She hasn't. So I'm wondering, what is that about? It's really bizarre. Luckily, we're on the desert and not up in the cold country. But there's a lot of these things popping up. So while all these good aspects are coming, we got to shine that light together. I hadn't tried to do any of these. I certainly wasn't looking to meet Rameet, and boom, there we are. Christina told me at one point that she and her husband, Wayne, who's an awesome guy too, had dreamed of me before I showed up. Was that right, Christina?
Yeah. Yep. I dreamt of workshops. So
Yeah,
like where
yeah.
like on our land, I feel the same way that Hailey was just mentioning. I've made an agreement with the spirits of my land. When we do lodge, we don't charge, and that's always been a thing. But then here we are giving our energies, and there is like the balance of getting your energy back. Whether it's people showing up before and after lodge and prepping the land, all of that. But usually, unfortunately, that doesn't really happen, right? So the energy gets used up and it doesn't get recycled. But yeah, so we've been talking a lot about this for the past. We've been doing ceremonies here for 5 years and not charging a cent to anybody. We've seen hundreds of people here. And there's been opportunities for me as a trainer, as a personal trainer, where people are just giving me money. And I'm like, when I stepped away from doing that professionally, I realized that becoming strong, it's a medicine, and medicine, water, all of this should be free. And I don't feel like I don't want to work in payment anymore. I feel the calling that something else is going to happen. And I don't know how to describe that in a real logical sense, that because you have heat and you need to pay for your heat to be on, right? But I don't know. Anyway, so I'm working out that in my mind, and we both had dreams. My husband and I both had dreams of you, and it was good. You were walking on our land, and then I had another dream. We were counting money, but it wasn't a ceremony. It was like more like a workshop or a gathering. And so
Yeah.
this has kind of that's been my compromise. And I'm for the very first time on in December, right before the solstice, we're having a woman from Mexico. She's an elder, a Mayan elder, and she's doing a healing event. And now she wanted to call it a ceremony, and we had this whole discussion where I was like, well, if it's a ceremony, I'm not going to charge participants, because it's a ceremony. And even donations, that's such a tricky word in Sedona. Everything is suggested donation of exactly this amount. And just in my own integrity, it doesn't feel right. So we had this whole discussion, and so we decided it's not a ceremony, it's a healing event, and that's different because the individual has the choice. And then there's always like a work trade opportunity or sponsorship. Somebody might want to donate a little bit more so that somebody else can come along. And so this will be my first time dealing with that energy, also in communion with, a high conscious event, So, yeah.
Good, thanks. And when Christina first told me that she dreamed me in before I showed up, I did check, and it was not Nightmare on Elm Street, so it's okay.
You were wearing those striped shirts, and you had no.
I had the mask. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Shemi.
Yeah, I think that you bring up such a really good point in that energetic reciprocity and how we do find the balance with that. And I appreciate that you don't ever charge for ceremony. I think that is one of my peeves with our healing industry and our light workers that are like, well, I put in all this energy, but anyway, I get that and I honor it and respect that. And that's where that balance does come in, like you said, on like Waves of Wisdom, these big events where we do gather, we do put in input. And that being said, with that energetic reciprocity for ceremony, sometimes, this is what council is for. Sometimes people don't know how to contribute. So it's like, okay, here's what we would love for donation energetically: firewood and tobacco and making food, so that's where we can support each other on like, okay, I got this like gathering coming up, but how do I communicate what feels like a really good way for people to participate before, after, and during, to feel like your cup doesn't get drained all the time? Because we really run into that a lot. And and that's what our council is for. That's what the support is for. How do we maintain our cup full, our fullness?
Want to add to that, I also want to add to thinking about who is our population that we're calling in. Being in Sedona and Rimrock, it's a place that brings people from all over the world, over 1 million tourists. So are we calling in those people that come from different parts of the world that are looking for healing? They come to Sedona because they're being pulled here. Do your beautiful, lodges and your healing ceremonies, Christina, bring in people that, have never had that experience and are yearning for something authentic? And if so, then what about the marketing? How can we reach those people? This weekend I went to a cacao ceremony. It was $30 per person, and there were quite a bit of tourists there, and I was there as well. And, it was a simple ceremony. We just went in circle 3 to 4 times, talking about what our intentions and having a bit of cacao paste, and that was it. And it was $30 per person, okay? And I'm just thinking about what you ladies offer. What we can offer is something I feel like it's going to be, quite deep and quite profound. So what I'm thinking about, I'm a very logical person. I think about flow, but I also think about, okay, logistics and structure and organization is a big part of who I am. So I think about the marketing. How can we really reach people that are looking for you? Okay. I think about the pricing, what is a fair fee for people? And I think about, it's not just tourists we're calling. Who are the local people in Rimrock in Cottonwood, and how can we also support them in doing something that's sustainable and regular as well. So there's different populations that we're targeting with different levels of consciousness and different needs. So that's what I wanted to share.
No, that's good. That's really good. And yeah, for the whole ceremony thing, which I've debated with people for God knows how many years, I've never charged for a ceremony and I never will. I offer ceremonies. Rameet and I talked about this, and you and I did today. If we do a retreat, for example, the last day will be a ceremony, but that's offered as an additional thing, and it's open to community. So that's how I've managed to combine the two. Drum circle, we disagree. It's not a ceremony, but I can also see
I
putting
believe
out
it
the
is.
blanket.
I believe it is. I believe it's the heartbeat of the mother and connecting and allowing people to have that opportunity to like experience that frequency of healing and like participate in that way. And so I see drumming as a ceremony. And so that's where I don't think that we should charge for drumming. However, he disagrees. So maybe that's something that we can vote on.
Well, we
yeah.
just discussed. Yeah.
Or, I mean, discuss. Yeah.
And
but
there's,
I want to hear people's opinions truly because I do not believe that we should. And I do not. Yeah, that's just where I stand.
and my viewpoint, and it'll continue to be, I've done this for a lot of years. I've worked with all the elders. I know what the ceremonies are. And mostly it's the 7 sacred ceremonies from White Buffalo Calf Woman. The other things are not ceremonies. They can be sacred, absolutely. And if we can do it with donations, that's okay. But Rameet has a good point. I mean, this is an interesting place, to say the least. And how you present things and when you present them is critical to being successful. And we are going to facilitate people from around the world. I know it. We already have in some level. So we'll just keep putting it out there. For right now, we've got a short-term financial problem and we don't have enough money to do this. So it's like, okay, what do we do? So we can't keep offering too many things for free. We've done a lot for free, and that was smart. You know, we want people to come here. We're not around the corner, right? Rameet, you have to get in your car and drive 40 minutes. Okay. Nature where we are. On the other hand, Sedona's kind of inundated with things. And we are talking to people in Sedona again, so we do have those options. Sedonia opened up, which is really funny because after I shared with Rameet that we had parted ways over Winds of Wisdom. Is that right? Winds. Damn. I gotta put a big thing across here that says Winds. Rameet happened to run into Sedonia, so we're gonna go talk to her at some point because some things can be done there. Not everything has to be here, but we want a lot of it here. This place is there's something special about this place. And those who have been here know it. You felt it. I felt it the first time I walked in. Shami, you saw it when it was still a wreck. Chris, he'll be coming here at some point, unless I give him the wrong address. But yes, I mean, we have to hash these things out. We've debated this back and forth for years. What do we charge and for what? And one of the big things was in the past, people that did this sort of thing that we do, they were given everything, a place to live, food, transportation, whatever they needed. That doesn't happen anymore. So what do we put in there to fill the gap? And I think it'll work itself through. I know it will, because I really feel this just moving ahead now, banging ahead.
So could I just say, I don't know how to do a electronic hand or whatever, but
you can give me the Italian hand. One of these.
Good. So the one thought that I always had in the past was like the ideal situation for me as like a mother of 4 and I live on 1 income and you know whatever, we live simple and that was our commitment and that's my own sacrifice and no one else's responsibility but my own. But it's the ideal situation would be for other mothers like myself that are in our community local to always have like the red tent. I love it. We have, I call them contractions. In the summer, they're huge red tents. And then in the winter, they get really small and intimate and then they get big. And I love it. And that's our community of women. and they show up and it's beautiful and it's strong and powerful. But I do like the idea of all of these like, you know, there's a lot of wealth in Sedona, and there's
Yes.
a lot of wealthy travelers and
Yeah.
tourists, and they get to come into it and see this beauty that we've created in a community that is going to inspire them when they leave. And so they are exactly what Rameet was saying. They're like another market in themselves. And it would be ideal if they were the ones that were sustaining it. You know what I mean? Like they were actually here, you know, donating whatever they had, because I don't even know what I would ever. It's so invaluable what we offer, what we all offer, whether it's the sweat lodge or just the education. But the red tent is such a sacred space. It's really sacred and beautiful. So I would never be able to even put like a value upon that. But for somebody that wants to come into one and they've never been and have that amazing experience, I really don't know what price to put on it, but I'm sure that people would pay. Like I know it, because I would. If I was traveling and I had like some deep pockets or whatever, I would certainly pay to go just even sit as a wallflower and see people in community doing something beautiful like that. And so that's, I don't know, maybe
That's
an
really
idea
good.
with the drum circle.
I can never see you as a wallflower. Sorry. I think who is next? Aliane or Chris? Aliane. Aliane?
Okay. So it's kind of similar to what you were saying.
Hmm.
So somehow this band came together, which just, and I was drawn to work with grounding meditation and sound journeys, not healing journeys, and a more rooted, a more relaxation, a more connecting to self kind of a space, not kind of taking energies high up and making them fly kind of energies, keeping them, there is a slight high, but then you kind of ground it back down again. So we didn't know how to go about this, the band and us. And one of the band members is how would you say, he's a practical person, so he's like, we got to charge this much. We were, the others, we were kind of like discussing, and what we came to was we do many free sessions, especially for children and people who need, and people from villages, and even some people, friends and things like that. And then we have some where we keep donation boxes, we put them there. We don't even put an amount. We say, if you feel called to, then you put in what you want to put in. And money that we need, it comes. We don't even think about it. We're like, oh, we needed that much. And that's the exact amount that would be in there. And then in some places where bookings are done, we have like a minimal charge because we're traveling, by car and, things like that. So we have a minimal charge that we put, but the end of it, people are putting extra into the box. So there is a minimal so that we can cover our basic charges. And we're not looking at it as energy in terms of the work we do, but more in terms of the logistics of travel and stay and food and things like that. And many times it gets balanced by wherever we are doing it. The people there, the people who have the location, they provide us free food and stay. So it kind of balances out on its own. So I just wanted to share how we're going about it, because we're not averse to charging and money, but we look at different situations and then we do it, though there is a minimal charge for basic costs that we need to cover. The rest just comes. It's amazing. It just comes. We needed to buy an instrument and the money came, and it was almost the exact amount of money that we needed. So it's I don't know. I'm not so icky about the money thing. It's like with good intent. We're just like, okay, give us, and here's the box. And there were people who were putting in extra. We were quite surprised, actually. Yeah.
I was saying today, if you can give more. Mr. Kiwi.
Oh,
Chris?
you're muted.
You're muted.
There we are.
Thank you.
Back to me loving myself talking. going back to an earlier point, when I look at the introduction I had to powwows and that, which was obviously the drumming and everything like that, everyone that I've been to, the blanket is passed around, sometimes several times during the day, morning, middle of the day, afternoon, or if there's a special um, project on that they want to have a gathering for, they'll go around with the blanket, just allowing people to take the opportunity if they want to give to this purpose or this project, it's done. There's no suggestion of how much or how little. But if we are encouraging people, I often remind people if you enjoy this, we encourage you to help support it so we can remain here and doing it. Having a project is one thing and providing something. And if you enjoy it, then the way I look at it, I feel good about supporting it and doing it in a way that I give to the value of what I feel I've received. If I undergive, I dishonor what I've received and I don't receive it so well. If I overgive, I resent it. So it's learning that middle ground where I give what feel honors what I've received from this, whether it's an individual, an event, or things like that. Whether you have a center or running rituals, we live in a world where there's expenses that have to be covered, and we offer the people the opportunity to do that. I don't know much about charging money. I haven't really lived in the world of money for a long time. My income's provided for me. It's guaranteed, or has been. I don't know. I haven't been into a shop for years, so I don't know what people charge. When I do things for people, I've given them away. And people have offered me things for nothing. For whatever reason, I don't know. Things just come to me. So, yeah.
Thanks, Chris. So here's a model. The Gathering of Nations in Albuquerque, largest powwow on the planet. To go to the Gathering of Nations, it's like $75 a day, I think, to get in the door. And then for every dance, they pass the blanket. So the setup there is they have expenses like we do here, like Christina does. The money to get into the event is theoretically to cover those expenses. And then the dances, the drumming, whatever's going on, that's what the blanket is passed around for. So you have your basic charge to get in, you're helping pay for the venue, and then it's up to your heart, like Chris is saying. What do I put where? So that's another model. We can't do anything if we don't have the venues, whether it's Christina's place or this place or the others we're going to work with. So it's got to be, and I'm not good at this. I never have been. I think Rameet brings a different view. And of course, Hailey brings a different view. So that's good. We'll need that mix here too as we start to grow things. So thanks, Chris. You triggered the thoughts on how that model works.
Yeah.
Rameet.
Right now, how I see the sanctuary, Grey Wolf and Christine, maybe more of the sanctuary with where you're at, Grey Wolf, is it's still a seed.
Yeah.
It has to it has to birth its full consciousness. And once it starts to birth its full consciousness, which is it's known in the community for a place of healing, the money's going to start to come in. But right now, what's happening is you're meeting people that can add to that can add consciousness, that can add events, that can add workshops, that can add land to it. So what I'm visioning right now is that I feel like with the sanctuary, it's still in its growing process. And it is this year where it's going to really start to take fruition, And from that fruition, from having this sort of reputation of the vibration, the consciousness that's in this sanctuary, then the money will come because you've got something regular happening. Maybe you've got a few things happening a month. There is going to be charge for some of them. Some of them are going to be free. So it has to almost lift off because everything you're sharing right now, you mentioned that it's still something quite recent, like you've just sort of built and developed this. And I feel like this is why that you're meeting all the right people now. Because I definitely envision doing something on a regular basis at the sanctuary that's going to be a powerful healing workshop and there's going to be a charge for it, So that's what I'm envisioning. Yeah.
No, I hear you, and I totally agree. And I agree with Hailey. And for too long, I've offered everything for free. And
I'm not saying
that
everything
was
for free.
no, I know you're not.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying for long, I've offered everything for free, and that's a mistake. For me, the issue right now is short term. I don't have the money in the account to pay bills that are due now. So it's like, oh, okay, what do we do with that mess? And I totally agree. This year, this thing can just take off. And all these people that I'm now looking at, plus Gentle Thunder, and Gentle Thunder has a native woman from up, I forget where, I think up around Boston, who wants to meet with us too to see how she can help, whether it's board or some other function. This is a powerful circle. This is a powerful group. I hear each of you, and we're all hearing each other, which is awesome. Part of the issue is totally on me. We are not incorporated in Arizona yet, and that's because I haven't done it. I don't know why. I don't know what's holding me back. I don't know if that paperwork, I mean, I used to do these all the time. We've even got a partner, a friend across the street who does this. So maybe working with Rameet, maybe that'll be something we can work on too. We need to incorporate here so we can open the bank account here. That'll also allow to go after grants, and that I am good at. So I don't know if there's some internal fear going on in me. I have no idea. By far, I'm the oldest in the circle now, and I want to keep doing this stuff. But it's like, wow, really? Again? But this is an incredible group, and I've had incredible boards before. This is something different. I'm not sure what. It's also it's 6 women and 2 men. At the moment, we are strongly we're gonna have to take a day off from the board once a month for the Red Lodge, I think. And that's an 8. I think that's because the feminine energy is really needed right now. And Chris and I are the outliers, which is fine. We can hold that, right, Chris? We're okay in our masculinity.
Yeah, I'm totally comfortable with this.
And other men will show up again because some people will come and go. That's the nature of this. I'm feeling in this group, we have the group that can dream in the what's next. And somehow I do have to get us through that hump of getting those things incorporated. It could be that it just wasn't time. That's also quite possible. If I had done it last year, we've changed a lot since then. Once we went into this phase and out of the setup phase, I would have been redoing it again anyway. So we're still set up, but I'm feeling we have to take it now out of Delaware and bring it here. If we bring in a lot of money and have to pay state tax, who cares? I'll take 90% of something rather than 100% of nothing any day. So I put that out there too. Yeah.
Can
Go
I just add one thing before we
Yeah.
go through
Please.
questions? So I think it's really essential to offer both free ceremonies or free events, and then also incorporating the paid workshops or experiences, journeys, events. So for the ceremonies, obviously Lodge is a big one. I see drum also in that category as ceremony. I do have, well, today we discussed,
Chanupa.
well, yeah, Chanupa. I'm
Yes.
just thinking of the 2 that we primarily are
Okay.
offering currently, or that we have written down. And then, which we have 2 on the calendar for the month of December, which we can share those dates for anybody. But anyway, so the programs, the paid like workshops that we are coming up with are like different like sound therapies, emotional well-being workshops, spirit family workshops, like animal guides, like journeying, or what, just all these different educational workshops that are giving people tools and resources to carry and integrate into their own life. Like ceremony obviously does that too, but this being a more like immersive educational way. And then if they want to learn more about ceremony, then you can come for ceremony. So yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
That's kind of how I'm seeing it. So yeah, those paid workshops versus I think drum, lodge, Chanupa, those things separate from the paid.
Do you see what I have to deal with?
Yeah.
She's really good. She never gives up.
I feel it so deeply in
I know
my
you do.
spirit that drum should not be a paid event.
Well, she's keeping the integrity.
Yeah, no, it's fine. That's what I'm saying.
I got an idea.
Okay.
I have an
Can
idea.
actually, I'm sorry. Can we just hold off? Can you write what you're going to say down maybe and just
Oh,
let
yeah.
Allie-Ann and Christopher have been waiting
Yeah.
for a hot
Yeah.
minute,
Oh,
and I'd
yeah.
love to give them space
I
to
got it.
talk.
Go ahead, Elian. I think you were.
So workshops, because I also do creative workshops.
Yep.
So it also immediately, I would say, it feels like if you have workshop like an art, relaxation therapy, or just like a release, like an art expression workshop. So these you can charge for without any problems at all.
Yep.
Suppose, someone who's a drum maker, example, around, you can collaborate and give them also part of, but you can charge for workshops like that without a problem. So I'm thinking also balancing out creative, spiritual, sacred, yes, but more technical, more relaxation, more, those kind of things. Then those are some you can do immediately with people and the ones you can hold yourself. That way immediate money can come in if you can plan a few of these.
Yeah, good point. And that's kind of where that's some of what Rameet and I are creating are right in that vein. Some of what Hailey and I are creating, some of those are in that vein. Yeah, so you're right. You're right. And I really think we've got.
So I'm gonna turn it so I can type it.
Please go. They know what I look like.
They might forget.
They might. Might be a good thing. Something just came. Go ahead, Chris. I'll jump in again. And we got Christina too. Where is he?
Jim and I have been having discussions that when I arrive over there about having regular evenings, running some courses and things, which I can do when I'm there. And we can do, to me, I look at them as deep dive stuff. So hopefully that'll be something we can look at as a source of bringing something into the sanctuary. But that's still, we're a few months away yet. So we've got to get through to then. But, I really do look at this idea of having regular programs, even if it's just one evening a week. That regularity, I think, is important. It gives something for somebody or people to plan around. It's also sets us up as a place to go for certain courses and types of events and that. I feel while I'm there, there's some stuff I can offer that is probably a little bit different to the usual fare that people are offering. Because I look, as I say, connections with the earth, but also do deep dives into consciousness itself, showing people how to get there, what it's about, allow them to have their own experiences of what they find there. And there's a whole gamut of things. And who knows, when I get there, the mother might have a completely different idea and want us to do something else. So,
don't do that.
But that regular programming is something that we are looking at. And Jim and I have had a few discussions around already, starting to make some plans.
There's a ton of programs we can create and do. We have a ton
Yeah.
of skills and talents between us. I had a little awakening the other day. Hailey was at an art fair. We have 2 artists now. This is cool. And I was there, just for support. And I had gotten a call to go actually not teach, have a conversation with a bunch of students that I'd done before. And there were 60 of them originally. And so I figured, well, yeah, I'll put it into pay a bill with it. So it was $200, was kind of what I was thinking. Originally they said $100, and then I knew more students were coming, and they called again. So I got there, and there was like 90 students there. And so Hailey had said to me, well, how about 300? Which I did. Now, they weren't set up for it this time. They will be next time, because we came to an agreement. When I come and do it, let's just do $100 per 30 students. And then we don't have to talk about it, debate it. But the thing that really took me a minute, I'm like, well, I can do these right off the top of my head. I know the material that we're going to talk about. They want us to know about a lot of indigenous things. I've walked it for years. And so I was saying to Hailey, well, I didn't do any prep work or anything. Do I deserve that kind of money? And I realized, wait a minute, I've done years of prep work. It wouldn't be in here and here if I hadn't gone out there. And that had a real expense, a big expense over the time. So we have to remember that too. Each of us is an asset, a big asset. And that has value to the collective, for sure. Sorry, I just want to throw that in there. It seemed to. Christina, I'm sorry, I jumped in.
No, you guys all hit everything I was going to say anyway. Like the drum making with, like, because Hailey was so off-putting with the drumming being in collaboration with money. I was just thinking of like drum and paint or something where the artist and you leave with the actual physical something, and then that might make you feel better about the drumming being in alignment with also receiving. So that was just an idea, because like a lot of people do like the paint and sips and all of that, and there's why not drum and paint.
I created a workshop for that. I have yet to share it with Jim, but it's a workshop on healing with drum. So it's something coming together very similar. I haven't shared that with you yet, but it's come together.
Sweet.
And I also want to add that Jim, Grey Wolf, I feel like you're talking something about education.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if part of the financial plan can also be about something of creating some kind of educational training framework that that you can then bring in students from academia as well, that can come onto the land and go through a short training program with expertise from Christopher and Christina and Shamina and whoever is here, myself, Hailey. So I'm wondering if some part of SODM can be an educational training framework with, even a little book of some sort that can really be part of what brings in money.
Yeah, and I don't see why not. I always did that in the other things I ran. I would love to get a higher education partner again. And that'll come, I'm sure. And I always saw as part of this train the trainers. We want to bring people in so they understand about the earth. They understand about what do indigenous people bring to what's going on now, all those things. And then they can go out and take it to their communities. So for me, that's a big part. It's a really big part. So I'm glad you brought that up. If we can get, no, not if, when we get, I'm being trained to say all words positive by my partner here. When we get a higher education partner, we can actually set up internships then too.
Yes.
And that really works well as well.
That's a beautiful way of bridging, the indigenous wisdom with academia and science. It's important. We need that connection. Students need to find this.
Yeah. Yeah. And just the legs of SODM are indigenous wisdom and sustainable science, positive science, and nature. Those are the 3 legs of the stool. So those are the 3 we want to focus on, right now that I think the earth is the most important because we're getting marginalized as a species. But all three of those are important, I think. Even talking to our friend Ryan when he was here, he and I talked quite a bit about this, about medicine and Western medicine versus traditional medicine. Aliane, I think you were next again.
I think Shami's been waiting.
Shami's next.
I didn't even
Thank
see
you.
Shami's hand. Whoops.
It's okay. I'm just being a chameleon right now. So I'm going to get to some grit right now because what Rameet was saying about feeling like we're in the growing process. Yes, we're constantly growing. We have gone through seasons. We have all of these ideas that have come before and that will come after us. And all the vision is there, the ideas for things is there, and so what's that gap of consistency? And that's what we really are calling in right now. We're calling in the bandwidth of our council members to not only have these visions, we got that. We got the events. We got endless amount of events, virtually, physically, all that shit. We got that down. And it's expanding between each and every one of the gifts that you all are bringing into the circle. But the whole disconnect has been consistency. And what happened, a huge success we had has been those community share circles, like my previous council members have discussed. We went from January to June, maybe May. I think it was probably May. No, it was to June.
It was June.
We went from January to June with weekly share circles. So that has been all documented. It's all on YouTube. It all can be resurfaced.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that we all got which I predicted at the beginning from it being weekly, burnt out a bit. B, our life took different threads and holds, and we didn't have the bandwidth of our council members to be able to pick up where others had to leave off, right? So, Alian and I had tried to okay, we got to meet, we got to keep things posted on the website. And we're good individually on our personal socials accounts and things to share what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But linking it with SODM, there's been inconsistency with that. So we have to bridge that gap of keeping our momentum alive. And there are so many things that we could have done, but man, we just really didn't have the bandwidth between 4 or 5 members. It was really difficult. So it's like those seeds it's like the flowers sprouted and blossomed, and just like in winter, they closed back up, they died. And now they're sprouting and blossoming again, and we have a higher goal to work towards. And our number one event that we shifted from this year because we were all doing so many different things, our bread and butter right now, I feel, is our Waves of Wisdom. That's our big event, and that was really successful. And we didn't burn ourselves out, and we were very supported in that. And the scale that we gave to have financial stability and reciprocity in that was quite successful, I felt, as well.
Okay.
One moment. Thank you. And as far as the donations, as far as getting our financial stability for the organization, our website has to have something very obvious that says donate here, right? What is it donating towards? Tell people what the intention and what we're using our funds towards. And we have a really big opportunity, if we can just get our shit together cohesively, to really utilize this holiday season as an opportunity for people to be let me donate towards my local or my global nonprofit that works for this mission that's in alignment with my values.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I got for y'all.
That's okay. That's good. I would debate your first part. We did put the teachings aside, but we put everything aside. We needed to hibernate. There were not enough of us, and we were all on the road. I felt that. I saw us bridging to all these things. I think that was a critical piece. Now these people are showing up who are part of this. We need a real presence here. And that's why you see these three people are here physically. And then with Gentle Thunder, there'll be 5 of us here. This is going to be the first sanctuary. I'm clear on that now. I think it's pretty clear to all of us. So we need us on the ground. I can't do it. When Chris and I put together the wisdom thing, it
Waves like the water.
the waves like the water. Thank you. The water of wisdom things. Yeah. It was really good, Shami. You're right, but we didn't make any money. We just paid the bills. And actually I covered some of the bill for the site. And
And we also
needed
didn't
more
put out a
time.
donation blanket and say those things as well. You know, those were little factors. We did cover our basis, but we could have brought in more.
We were 200 hours short of covering expense, and I put it up. So, and it's not bad because if you remember, it was like 4 weeks before it that Sidonia pulled the rug out from under us. So suddenly we had to go find something else. So based on that, it was incredible, and we had great people come. And Metsasaron came from San Francisco, our Aztec brother. So I know we're going to do a good one this year. I think we change. Well, we're going to have a separate meeting on that, is what I see, because that's going to take a whole meeting. And we talk about this and what's the focus. To me, right now, the focus is working with the Earth Mother and coming back into some kind of balance. And it has to be done quickly. So I think we make sure we're focused on that. And so that puts us in a park again or some outdoor venue, not Sidonia. That's fine for a teaching or that sort of thing. That's fine. It's great, but not for this sort of thing. And we figured that out last year, if you remember. When they did pull the carpet, several of us said, well, actually, that's good, including Robert, who was the most literal minded of all of us at the time. So yeah, I mean, let's do it, but let's do it logically. We still have plenty of time. If we're talking in January and setting it up, that's good. Do it in May, maybe here.
Like March.
Too little, too soon. That could be rainy.
Oh, for the actual.
I think
For the actual.
I think May or like first week of June or something.
May?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
We
Yeah.
need 6 months. Straight up.
6 months
Yes.
is the best. Yes, for
100%.
a big event, even longer, but 6 months for something like this, we can sure do it. And that gives us more time to build that presence, which I think we're starting to get some of it. I know we are. But we need a lot more of that. So, yeah. Okay. Somebody had Chris. Not Chris.
Yeah.
Chris.
Um,
Sorry, brother.
yeah. It's perfectly okay. I'll set the Kiwi on you. Yeah, 6 months gives me plenty of time to get over there too. So that works for me. You pretty much covered most of the other bases I was thinking of, Shami. With me looking at coming over and offering events, one thing that was highlighted for me is that potential for burnout. I don't want to burn myself out by trying to do too much.
No.
I can offer a certain amount and I could do a lot of other things, but I would burn out very quickly. I'm also aware Jim and I are going to have to be on the road for a few things. Now, Rameet, one thing you were mentioning that I feel would come in handy, I can sit there and talk till the cows come home.
He can.
And yeah, and I can do all sorts of things. But I am absolutely out of my skill range when it comes to marketing, advertising, promoting, even sometimes describing what I do. I'm good at what I do. I have people tell me that. But when it comes to the whole marketing side, I just tell people, look, you set up the event, you tell me which one of the subjects you want me to talk about. I turn up having done zero preparation and I just ad lib away. The thing that I learned years ago, when I looked at when am I comfortable talking about something, and that's when I can just roll it off my tongue from a place of understanding. Then I know enough to talk about it. So when I talk about things, there's stuff that comes natural to me, which is why I don't do a lot of preparation. Preparation was the years of work I did beforehand. One of the areas I look at, I'm looking at doing meditation courses, and I've got 20 different meditation schools up my sleeve because I went out to specialize in it. I was given the time to go into those sort of things. Yeah. Just
Thank you,
throwing
brother.
wild ideas out there, but that burnout that you were mentioning, Charmy, that to me is a crucial one.
Yeah, it is. And that is, before I send it up to Eliane, that is an important point. I can't run as hard and fast and long as I used to, and I know that. So now there's things I can turn over to Rameet. I can turn over to Hailey. We were talking today about some of the retreats, and I was shared a little about what we were doing, Rameet. And Hailey and I were too. And we can do retreats like I used to too, because we drew people from all over the place. And I'll just be the based here person, and you guys will take them out in the rocks, which will give me a great deal of angst, but I'll get through it because that's my favorite part. But we can operate that way.
I would like to raise my hand after Eliane.
Okay, Eliane, you're on.
So I just have been listening, and there's this thing about community that's coming now, and especially it was kind of activated or triggered by Rameet, what you said about education. So just how we do it here with Hemlata Didi, my friend and sister, botanical illustrator. She has a school, and she promotes almost similarly a lot of things that we do, but more towards art and design, but also spirituality and all kinds of alternative ways of living and being. So every Saturday she has free classes for about all kinds of knowledge and wisdom, which is not the conventional knowledge and wisdom, for the village children. And botanical art, and there's so many other things, and so even for our sanctuary that already exists, having this kind of program where you are spreading the knowledge and wisdom for the local community and the children. And then what happens is, because of this, she's also known for education in terms of art and design. We're getting funding from people to help teach more children from different schools or different communities. So it's just an idea that if we're doing things like this, then there's also a potential of bringing in also grants that again will help foster more education.
I totally agree, Eliane. And with all the partners who are lining up, there's a great opportunity for grants here, including, as I was talking to Ryan, since we both have Native blood, we can go after some of the Native American grants too. So there's a ton of opportunity there. They like to see partnerships now when you go for grants, and we're going to be able, now we can show them. Last year we couldn't. We could talk about what we hoped would come, but we couldn't talk about who they were yet. Your hand's up.
So some other ways that we've been curating to bring some more money into the sanctuary is we have a front guest room that could very well be an Airbnb. And so there are some resources that we would need in order to get that fully functioning, which we still have to kind of curate that itemized list. So that's something, and something that we would also like to offer is like the guided tours for people, whether they're an Airbnb guest or whether it's just people, tourists in the community, Sedona, Rimrock, wherever. Offering guided tours where Grey Wolf, like you said, is kind of that anchor point where maybe we could do an educational portion here at the sanctuary of like, here's the spots that you're gonna go today. Here's a little bit about each spot. When I see, you know, maybe Rameet and I going out to these spots, because I know Rameet has spent a lot of time really exploring the vortices in Sedona. And you know, whoever else wants to be part of that as well. But us going out as like the tour guides, so to speak, and offering these educational but also spiritual experiences. If you know, going, you know, we can really make it. And then maybe off having a little picnic basket, and we have a picnic basket or a picnic at the end of the hike. You know, like we could really make it however we want. But something to for us to kind of come together and to think about is, okay, what dollar amount would we put on that experience? Or that's, you know, what would we
And I can do my land stuff. I'll do like we did the other day, you guys that were there. And I'll go to a natural spot and I'll teach about the plants and the animals and the culture that was there. I mean, even the story, people always ask me what happened with that sweat lodge. And I could talk about sweat lodges and, you know, why we do them the way we do, so they stay safe, that sort of thing. So yeah, there's a ton we can do. With more of us here on the ground, I just see so many opportunities. And really this group of people that are here on the ground is pretty phenomenal. Especially the men in the group, particularly. Oh wait, that's only me. I'm sorry. Chris and I are going to have fun with this. You realize now. Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot we can do now on the ground, and whether we do it here, where hopefully the bulk will be, do it at Christina's, do it up in Sedona, take them out on the land. We'll just spread it out. Somebody had a hand up. Oh, Shami.
Yeah, I first thing is that I put in the group chat is that I think a key factor that, you know, I could personally do better at and put some attention towards is creating our local support for Sanctuary. So, you know, Sedona, you guys have multiple beings there where you can inspire, co-curate, and kind of have your hearts together to create strength of like action.
Yeah.
So, you know, Alien, Christopher, and myself, if we really put an intention to bring in someone in our local community that we can really be working with and inspire each other on a daily basis, because it can really be quite, you know, it could feel alone physically, and could be overwhelming. So that's one thing I'd like to put out there. That can really help us with that consistency and local support. And the other thing I kind of wanted to open space to Christina and Rameet and Hailey for some reflection. I think I'd love to hear from Christina about how you feel about everything that we've kind of been talking about, and if there's just wanted to open some space for your voice to be heard if there's anything, and if not, that's okay too.
We're going to get there in a few minutes. I'm going to finish up with whoever has comments, and then we're going to move into direct questions either way, but starting with them because they're the ones that have to understand what the hell we're doing. If we do. Chris, you still had your hand up.
Yeah, just responding to what you shared, Charmaine. If you're looking at doing something in your local area, I'm more than happy to do anything online, or interact in any way that you would like. You know, I'm just reflecting on when we've done stuff before together. To me, it's always worked well, and I'm quite happy to lend energy to that as well. And the same with you, Aliane. I know you've pretty much got your format down, but the offer's there if it's needed. Yeah. And I know I'll still come back to it, one of the things that's helped both Jim and I with both our ends is just regular sharing. Even though we're not offering anything public, we just, that interaction with each other, we've kept each other on board, we feel empowered. We do quite a bit that's not seen. Probably what would you say, Jim? 80 to 90% of what we do, nobody sees but us, or it's very rarely seen.
At this point, yep. I'd say that's right.
Yeah.
And we can send people back and forth. Shami, before I forget, Ryan's coming your way in the next couple of days. So I wanted to give him your name so you guys could maybe touch and meet and drink coffee or whatever the hell.
Yeah, please do. Absolutely. That'd be really great. Someone from New Mexico and a male also, just having that
And a male.
masculine would be wonderful.
And
Yeah.
he's Lakota and German.
Okay, wonderful.
He's
Yep.
an interesting.
Send him
And
my
he's
number. Just
historian. I was there, right?
He's like the historian of the tribe. He's got a
Right.
lot of knowledge and wisdom to share. A lot.
And the
He's
one,
read all the texts of like
yeah,
he's like, our elders have left these texts and no one reads them. So he's like, he went through and it really knows.
we had some great talks.
Yeah. He's great.
what's his first and last name?
Ryan Swank. Ryan Ryan Swank Swank.
And he lives in Albuquerque, you said?
Yes.
But he's coming towards Taos.
He's coming up to Taos for some ceremony or event.
No, he was going up there to because his kid wants to play on his friend's trampoline.
Oh, that's right. He's gone up there for his young son. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a command and performance. Yeah.
Perfect.
And he's connecting with some grandmother up there. I didn't know her, but he can tell you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Aliane?
So just a kind of a, I don't know, putting it out there request for another Zoom session to catch up on each other's lives and lessons and struggles. And yeah, I think this whole period has been quite intense for like all of us. So it would be nice to catch up and ask questions and share and cry and laugh and yeah.
Brilliant. And support each other again. We have all along.
Yeah, I could do all of the above.
Yeah. We can do it all at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, well and
That's
truly
good,
this
Elian.
year.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So we'll do it maybe like the week after our holidays here, huh? Okay. Okay. I'll throw something out and you guys can put dates. So let's move now to what Shami was talking about. So we got 3 of you here. What else do you want to know? What questions do you have? You're still sitting here, which, wow. You guys have stick-to-itness.
Yeah. Good staying power.
Yeah. Who wants to stick? Any of you?
I'll take it.
Go ahead, Christina. Good. I knew you would.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this sounds wonderful. And I feel like I've already pretty much cultivated, I do have the regular events and a lot of people in the community do already know who I am. And so I feel like by affiliation, if you have a website, you could, when you're having an event, like people will recognize my name just because of that, because I do offer all of this regularly. And yeah, I think it sounds like something I do feel comfortable being connected to. And I also have like you were mentioning, you had all these videos you recorded last year. I happen to also record a lot of like workout videos. I was doing this program. I had designed a 4-phase program and my son was like really trying to, edit and he was just kind of experimenting. And I had a group of women that were coming to my red tent, which is also half of it is the space that I have for training as well. And so, again, that was all by donation. I had people like offering to pay and I was like, no, just let me, explore this 4-phase because I was using the medicine wheel as part of the 4 phases. And, I know I've talked about it at the Rimrock Circle, so I don't want to repeat what that whole program is, but I have all of that footage and I have never used it. So maybe in the future, this is something where we could all have our footage come together or our workshops come together for sake of education. right? Because there's 9 of us, or there's 9 of us in total. So I just always think of like the human design and like the chakra system, and each of us representing one aspect of the human, and in me that would be like the root, the root with the physicality, and a lot of the work I do is in the physical with helping to birth babies, and then also with the strength training. But yeah, so I can kind of see where my place would easily be weaved in, which feels good. And yeah, and I'm just excited to find out more about, like, I don't know, where that platform will take us as a collective. And yeah, and I was also resonating with Chris about talking with trees, because I had my first experience a couple weeks ago communicating with trees, which was really profound. So it was just another reminder of that light grid that we're activating just by having this conscious conversation between all of us, and that we are like the roots of the tree system, and just something's happening beyond our knowledge as we speak. So yeah, thanks for this opportunity.
Thank you. Love you, Christina.
Love you.
You always speak so clearly and from the heart. Much appreciated. Who's next?
Rameet.
Yeah. So what's coming through right now is less work on the root chakra of Sotam, and that will require Grey Wolf and Hailey to do the subtle things that need to be done, whether it's opening up the incorporated account, whether it's opening up that second room to get in money for the sanctuary. Mother Earth has provided a space which is your sanctuary, your home now. It's up to you to figure out what to do with it to get in the income. So let's work with the root chakra, because we don't want, if you want to move up the ladder to the sacral and the heart, the offerings, we can't have these energetic gaps. So I'm a very, very practical person. You got to have all these loose ends tied up. So whatever you need to do to get some basic finances coming in through the Airbnb, or having somebody rent the room who's a conscious human who could rent the room for the full month or 6 months. People are dying right now to find a place to live in Sedona and greater Sedona area. You can easily charge $1,200 to $1,300 a month for that room and have it a year or a 6-month commitment if Airbnb is too much, but get that started. That's one thing I want to say. The second thing I want to add to this is that I'm really excited to co-create with everybody here. And I feel like our higher selves already know what we're meant to birth and bring in. It's just our human self and our human bodies catching up to the divine plan. So there is so much, part of this is flow and surrendering, but also then listening to what needs to be done and taking action. And what I'm envisioning right now is really offering what I can offer, which is the workshops, the art therapy, working with the yogic wisdom. And I also do, Christina, a lot of work with the divine feminine, goddess healing, goddess wisdom. I created a 4-month course called The True Feminine Rising. Came as a download at 5 a.m. in the morning, working with really powerful things of the goddess. So I feel like there's a lot of divine feminine awakening here in the Sotam space as well. And my vision is to do a workshop in December with Jim and Hailey, and Christine, if you're on board as well. And it's going to be a workshop with several components where we'll have hopefully some financial flow coming through, but also starting to put the seed into the community of Sedona and greater Sedona area that, hey, there's these, different things that are happening in this beautiful sanctuary. And I'm really looking forward to doing that, because I feel like it's time to not just put these offerings now out there. And I've been looking to offer these various things, but it's beautiful to have a team with me so we can make it really solid and really for a higher purpose. So that's all I have to say.
Beautiful. Whew. We have some great speakers.
Yeah, powerful reflections from the both of you. Thank you.
Hailey?
I'm excited to just continue to create. So the next 2 things that that we've discussed putting on the calendar for income and in terms of programs or events On 12/6, we'll be from 6 to 8 p.m. We'll be doing like we're gonna call it Sacred Resonance Immersion with the White Buffalo Energy Alchemy. So that's going to incorporate like sound bowls, drumming, our voices, maybe some flutes, tingas, sacred sound. And
Excuse me, sorry.
with a minimum donation, we can do a donation scale. It's a great idea, but minimum of $33 for that, I think is pretty reasonable.
And the White Buffalo, isn't that the one we're using today?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what, and we'll be incorporating the white buffalo hide that we have as well. And then on 12/17, we'll be doing more of chakra energy work. We had the idea of the name, the energy code. So like learning how to really tap into our energy of our vessels, of our God bodies, and how do we utilize this energy to not only expand our consciousness, but also help the collective and the great expansion, the great awakening. So bringing in the chakra system, different energy practices. So if anybody feels like that they would want to contribute or participate or like facilitate for each of those, I'd be happy to collaborate with you on that if you feel so aligned.
Thank you.
But in terms of kind of wrapping this up, I know for myself, I got to be up at 4 a.m. So I
know.
might have to tap out here soon.
Yeah, it's okay. We're going to wrap it up in a couple minutes.
Okay.
And what's the date for Sacred Resonance Immersion?
So the Sacred Resonance Immersion is 12/6. So Friday, the December.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. And I can send you more information on that as well. I'll be making flyers for both of those. Via Canva.
And would you be open to a virtual?
Yes.
Would you be open to virtual, like a participation in that?
Yeah.
I was just going to
like speaker wise.
Good.
Yeah, in any way. Yeah, virtually. I think opening up would be great for people to participate virtually or even help facilitate virtually.
Or be attendees.
I think it might be important to have a meeting with just the people that are in Sedona about this, because I want to make sure that we're having all the information, everything that we can contribute to this beautiful event that you put together. So let's keep in touch. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
And you're right. Those of us in Sedona need to have a meeting because you and I were going to do something in December too, right? So that has to be on there. And I would love to see Chris. I'd love to see you and I add a virtual piece in December. So we just get a nice little package.
It's starting to feel segregated. I'm not liking this. I feel
exactly. Thank you.
I was just whatever idea you have, we should be sitting down together and we should be talking about it as, hey, let's do 2 events in December. I'm part of the facilitation because my background is in yoga and psychology and in yogic theory. You have background in what you do. So we want to make sure that we're offering our expertise and we have the skill set. We want to do 2 large or strong events in December so we can really work together and bring in more people instead of 5 people, 10 people. And 6 events in December.
Right.
So we
all come together and like you said, bring our expertise or our focus, our passions.
We're not lone wolf anymore. So we should be talking together. And I had my plan to bring you into whatever I was gonna do as well. We need to be talking more. We can't be doing all separate things.
And I feel like these meetings don't have to just be Sedona people, right? So that's where I'm feeling the segregation is like just when you have the meeting, put it out to the whole group. And if we can come, great. If we even just want to be wallflowers and listen, that's great too. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely right. We'll always invite everybody. No reason. And I got an important question. I really liked Alien's idea of a follow-up meeting so we can all catch up with each other. And since it was your idea, Alien, do you want to chair that one?
Do you want to what, Jim? I didn't hear.
Do you want to lead that one? Do you want to be the chair on that one? Do you want to? You don't have to.
We can all be chairs.
Well, we need, somebody has to facilitate it so it keeps moving. So, okay.
Okay, I
If
can do
not,
it.
I'll continue. I don't care. I don't mind doing it. It's easy. Okay. Any other pieces?
Do we have maybe a date that we want to look at to having that conversation so we can like look forward and get a date?
We could. I was going to put a few dates out there and then
That
It's
was
everybody
happening
can
in
vote.
December. It has to be soon because we want to be putting out stuff,
Right.
mid-December. So we
Correct.
have a meeting soon.
Just while it's a bit of quiet, I just threw my website address in the chat column if anybody
Oh,
who is new would like to check it out. It gives you a little bit more information about me.
gotcha.
Jim, 2 meetings.
Yeah.
One which is a personal sharing,
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of thing, and then there is the work. So there are 2 different meetings. We don't want to mix
Correct.
the work with the
No.
personal right now.
Yeah, I was looking at the personal one that I thought we would do quickly. And then, yeah, the sharing one, those of us here should pick the date, right? And then invite everybody.
Yeah, whatever.
Does that make
works.
sense?
I'm kind of tapping out of my energy. I'm not gonna lie.
Go ahead. Go ahead. We're good.
I don't wanna just abandon
All right.
it. I wanna like close this out. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd love to just share a few events that I have lined up as well on my end, if anyone's
Okay.
interested in.
Yes, please.
Or,
Um,
no, we're not interested. Go away. Oh.
Um,
Thank you.
So I've been working really closely with my friend Cami, who's a fellow body worker and a total badass Gemini entrepreneur like myself. So we're gonna do December 6th. We're gonna have a massage jam for body workers only, where we are guiding body workers to not only come together, connect, but to receive and to also elevate their practice. Event number 2 is going to be open to those in service-oriented professions or lifestyles. So it's self-care for the givers. And that's going to be December 13th or 20th. We're still hashing out a place for these that feels in alignment. So if you can energetically please send and visualize where we can have these body working sessions and self-care sessions, really working on the foundational root chakra for everyone. Cami and I are also collaborating with a woman. Her name's Allison. She's been doing these things with breath work and beats. So it's like live music going with a breath work session that follows the flow of the practice. And so December 21st, yeah, beats.
Yeah, sorry. I'm looking, what? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, not the veggie.
Not beats.
But that would be great to have in it. So I recently served tea, like a dream tea for that event, and that led us to collaborating on winter solstice for a day retreat. So that's really exciting. And then the last event that I've been doing a lot of but took a hiatus from has been a yoga massage tea and sound journey. So there's a lot of things coming up in Taos that we really could use that energetic support with, because we're just not finding the right place to have these, and it's now coming to be like a couple weeks before, and we really want to just like jam these babies out and create that consistency and that financial stability as well. And that being said, I often do, when I do my individual events, I say either like a certain percentage of the proceeds goes towards Sanctuaries of the Earth Mother. Like when I did massage at the Eagles Roost, I donated a part of my profit directly to our PayPal. So that should actually cover our website for the year or something. But we can do that. We can have a basket for our donations and say, this is Sanctuaries of the Earth Mother, and whatever you donate in this basket goes straight to this nonprofit. Or saying like, and that's like a really good incentive as well to get people to come to an event, is to see that you're donating towards a greater cause.
Always.
So yeah.
Good.
That's what I got.
Very good. That's always, yeah, Alian.
Just to add, so I finished a massive, energetically massive installation. It's one of the biggest I've ever had to hold. And it's taken me 3-4 months, and I still haven't energetically. Yeah, I'm still tired. So they're asking
Yeah.
me to rest.
Yeah.
Though my own brand and my work, I work with upcycled textiles, and I work with local women, and I also hand make a lot of them.
That's good.
I've just started it, so I'm also happy to slowly contribute part of the sales when it gets done to Sotem too. So that's what I was thinking. So I'm happy to also do products for Sotem once I'm a little bit more energized.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would like to have Sotem as a brand also and do separate
Yes.
things, but more ceremonial, more prayer, yeah. So I would like to do that also from my side.
Very cool. Yeah, that's great. Ooh.
And another thing, sorry, Charmaine, I just saw your hand up, but another thing that we have been talking about incorporating here at the sanctuary is having a shop or a storefront. We wouldn't really call it a storefront.
No, can't.
For legal reasons, but to have something where maybe people are donating, or not, maybe not even donating, maybe they're donating a percentage of the, I was thinking donating the item, but maybe they're just donating a percentage of the profit that they get from it being sold here at the sanctuary to the sanctuary. So whether it's like the sanctuary gets 30%, I don't know, I'm just throwing out numbers.
That's a good idea.
But
sometimes you can get donations.
So yeah, we would just want to find a location here at the sanctuary where we can, sorry, I'm like really tired. I'm on my moon, and I'm just like but a space here at the sanctuary where we can set something like that up. So whether it's like jewelry or tinctures or herbs or
bowls or drums
or
and
art,
the whole thing.
or
Art.
Whatever. But some stuff that's conscious and spiritual and elevating, and like helpful for body, mind, soul, spirit, and yeah. So that's another idea as well.
And Aliane, upscale clothing. She's working on it too. So
yeah,
you guys got to chat.
I recently really dove into upcycling fashion. So
Upcycling, that's it. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Wrong word.
Upscaling, same
Yeah,
difference.
works. Okay. Yeah, this has been a great meeting. Would the current board members stay on for just 5 minutes when we're done? But let's do a closing. If we may, I'm feeling, does anyone feel strongly they need to do it?
I felt Christopher.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense because we open with the feminine and we'll close with the masculine. Come on. And we'll have balance.
Cool.
And this better
Thank
be
you.
good, Chris. Oh,
No pressure whatsoever.
no.
No, we'll pull out my inner Kiwi. I just want to thank everybody's presence for being here. I want to give thanks to everybody tuning in and acknowledging Mother Earth, her presence, her guidance, her gifts that she gives us in every way. For the air she provides and we breathe, we give thanks for the water we drink, for the minerals from the soil which grow our food, from the warmth from the sun. All these things are part of nature that makes us who and what we are. We are made from Mother Nature. We align with her and we come home to her. When we follow and live in her guidance, receive the direction that aligns us with this path, the wheel of life, which we give thanks for being a part of, as are all beings. May we remember this every day, give thanks for it, and acknowledge this wheel of life that we are merely a part of, but as valuable as all other beings. Thank you for your presence, your gifts, your knowledge and wisdom that you've shared. Much appreciated.
Oh, thank you, brother. So that was excellent.
Yeah, thank you so
Wow.
much.
Thank everybody. I love you all.
Thank you.
I never saw three of you sitting here at once and this fast, but that's the way things are. Even if one of them's half asleep, that's fine.
I'm
Two,
fully
two, two of us.
I'm fully
I'm-
Yeah, Eliane looks like she's ready to drop.
Christina's
I
up and
woke
running
up
after
early.
four kids all
Oh,
day.
okay. Yeah,
I need to go
right.
up to see.
Christina is Earth Mother, by the way, in case you missed
Yeah,
it.
my
Thank
kids
you,
are
guys.
already like, "Why are you still outside?"
What's going on? Thank you, guys.
My office is literally outside. All right, thank
Yeah.
you so much. Blessings to
Christina,
you all.
Thank you.
Lovely
Board
meeting
members?
you.
Christina, red tent this Saturday at 6, correct?
Yes, red tent at 6 o'clock. I posted it on Facebook. It's in Camp Verde. If anybody's interested, I will figure out how to attach an email at some point, or Jim can
I can
send
do
it
it.
out.
Sure.
But yeah, we have
So can
a new
Hailey.
moon. Literally every new moon, the red tent, and then we also have a womb healing event on December 21st that I was talking about earlier, with Nana Lu from Mexico. But yeah, that's about it for
And how,
this month.
what's the donation for that womb healing event?
So it's a sliding scale of 111 or 222. And we also have a work trade situation. So if somebody can't make the funds, they're welcome to join us and help prepare with the wood or food.
Okay, count
And
me in on that part of things.
yeah, oh yeah.
Cool.
So
And how many
I'll have you I'll get you in contact with Deb. She's
Okay.
the lady that's like kind of coordinating everything, but yeah.
Okay,
Sweet.
wonderful.
what's like the
So-
time frame for that womb healing event?
It's a day retreat. So it'll start, I forget the exact time, but I think
That's
it's
fine.
it's like 9:30, and we are going to have like a sweat at the end of the night, but it's going to be in probably the Temescal that we have. And yeah, so
Okay.
it's
And then
fun.
Christina, what's your email?
safeandfit@live.com. So it's SA.
It's on the emails I sent out.
Safe and fit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Everybody's on that one I sent out, Shami.
Thanks. I didn't
Thank
want to
you.
look back. I don't want to go through emails. I just wanted it now. Thanks.
Yeah, I got
Okay,
it.
thank
It's
you
all
so
good.
much,
So board
everyone.
members,
All
hang on for a minute.
Okay.
Okay.
Really excited for all of your input and enthusiasm. Thanks for
Yay.
doing the good work.
Thank you. Blessings.
Love you all.
Blessings, much appreciated.
That too.
Okay,
Good night, love.
please. Would you like me to leave this out here?
Yeah, would you? Because I was going to read it again and just
Yeah,
think.
I just asked you not to make any
I'm not going to, you're
notations.
doing that. I'm not.
What about
You can run
What
faster
about-
than me.
Well, if you want to add anything, just
No,
put it
I'm-
on
yeah,
here and
put 'em
then
there.
just so it stays consistent and my organization is like intact. Thank you.
damn straight? Tell him.
You know,
Hey, what about the heart share 1 week from
My
today
God.
on December 2nd?
Oh, that's right. We started to do that and then we didn't.
I could do that. I could do that.
What day
You
is
cool
it?
with that? Same time, same place?
Monday.
Oh, let's do that. Is that all right?
So 7 p.m. the 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
7 p.m. the 2nd, yes.
Heart share.
Heart share.
Soda
Yep.
And ev-
And then
No, it's Heart Storm, right? Yeah.
heart
and
storming.
everybody brings their own
Sharing
tissues.
storming.
We don't
Yeah.
brainstorm, we Heart Storm.
No, yes, but this is more of like connecting
Yeah.
on a personal
Yes.
heart storm
That's what it
or
is.
heart share.
Share storm, call it what you will.
Yeah, it
Put
doesn't
whatever
matter.
weather behind it that you want.
From the
Just
heart.
from the heart. And then what about the brainstorming meeting, our next logical meeting 2 weeks from today, December 9th?
Well, the next
I think it would be nice if you put there the people in Sedona can decide which day
Yeah.
they would like it once
Yeah.
they discuss,
yeah,
then put
because
in
the
a date.
earliest event that we
Yeah.
have coming up is the 6th, so the 9th would be a little bit too late for that. If people want to join to help prepare for the event on the 6th,
That's different, Haley. My apologies, but our brainstorming is our normal 2-week SOTA meeting. And then if you want to have a meeting before the December 6th, then we should
be
create a
separate.
different date for that. Yes,
Okay.
And we're
I-
gonna-
is my thought.
I want to stretch out the meetings. I don't see doing them every 2 weeks now.
Okay,
like-
so let's
I'd
do
like
it.
to go
Let's
further and then we can start talking about,
Why don't you see it every 2 weeks?
Hmm?
Why don't you?
Let's say every
This seems
3
like a
weeks
lot.
then.
It doesn't seem like too much, every 2 now?
I
Because
think
that'll free up some time to do the radio shows again too.
exactly.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. So we're gonna say brainstorming December 16th, heart share December 2nd, and then in between having like a personal just like a specific event. Uh, Schedule your meetings like when you want to
Yeah,
have
right.
input for the event. Aliane?
December 16th, I will be traveling.
Ah.
So
Okay.
I'll just let you know if I can join in or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we can also do it I'm open Monday through Friday. Saturdays and Sundays, I'm never available anymore.
Well, we're
Till
set for the
April 6th.
2nd, and we can make sure we'll reconfirm all this then.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay. you
Was
go.
there anything else that you wanted to,
Yeah, I just want to talk to the board members a minute.
yeah.
I have to get rid of my partner
Yeah.
in a good
Bye,
way.
Hailey. Good night.
Bye.
All right.
Thank you, love.
I'm gonna go cuddle with my cat now.
We'll see you. Bye.
I'm just coming in 1 minute.
Yeah, okay. Anyone else
Okay.
have to take a pee break? Go ahead.
I know, right? My dog, Sage, is looking at me like, you are so boring right now.
Sage has really filled the hole for you. That is awesome.
She's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'm so glad that worked out so well.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah. Yep. Go figure. Now, how does that come about, right?
Oh my gosh.
And
Her neck is so fat right now. She's got such scruff on her neck. It's hilarious. And she is just like so persistent with when she needs attention. Such a puppy.
Well, we lost 2, but they'll be right back. Whew. Good energy.
Yeah, it's invigorating.
Yep.
Just having fresh
And it was-
energy out
It
here.
was time, and I knew it would appear if we needed some space because we were getting too clogged up.
What was the guy's name? Ryan Spunk?
Ryan Schrank. I'm
Swank.
sorry. What was it? Swank?
Swank. Like a swanky dude.
Wait a minute. I don't know. Is that right? I got to check. Ryan Swank, SWANK. She's right.
I know I'm right.
Does he have an Instagram? Is this Ryan Swank?
I'm looking.
I don't know if he's on.
He's on
Instagram.
Facebook.
Present
Oh,
on
I think this is him. I think he's on
If you show me
Instagram
a
too.
picture, I'll be able to tell you yay or nay. Yeah, that's him.
That's him. All his hair
Okay.
on his head fell down on his face.
Okay. Cool.
And I told him you exist. So if you want to,
If you follow astrology at all, him and I are exact opposites on the birth chart. That makes
Well, that's a good balance.
It is. I enjoy it. I'm a Libra,
Cool.
he's an Aries. I'm 10/20, he's 4/23. So if you like.
I'm Aries.
You are. What day?
5th April.
5th?
Oh,
What?
beautiful.
5th. Okay.
I get along with Aries so freaking well. I'm Gemini.
well,
Oh,
I don't know.
All right,
I'm
this is-
Sagittarius.
Mhm. Oh, thanks, love.
So it's your birthday soon, is it not?
Who's?
Who? Mine.
He just
Yesterday.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Today, isn't it,
gosh!
bro?
Sending blessings to you. Happy birthday to you.
I
You
sent him
are
that.
so
I sent him the
amazing.
Lakota version.
Oh, beautiful. Happy birthday, Christopher.
Thank you very much.
He looks pretty good for a
Aw.
90-year-old man, doesn't he?
Yeah, looking good.
Oh, God. All right.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, right.
I'll be quite happy if I'm doing this
Right.
well at 90.
Yeah. Do we have to be here that long? Oh, my God. Yeah, we might. Oh, well. So Thoughts? Okay.
Really good.
We try and avoid them where possible.
Feelings?
What area you're looking at, or
I felt
yeah,
good. I think we just invite them on.
okay,
And then we
this is,
bring in that one that General Thunder knows at the next meeting. She wants us to,
yeah,
if, wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 5. That would give us 8. So that would leave one more spot to be 9 or completion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Feels like there'll be one more.
Yeah, it does to me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt a little unbalanced in the male female, but the more I felt into it, the more it feels right now. It needs to be heavily female right now. I don't understand where that comes from.
Yeah.
And Chris and
I think one more male feels balanced to me.
yeah, I do too.
I
But
think the last
they'll come when they're
would
meant
be-
to.
I
do
think the
too.
last one would be, the 9th one would be somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah, I can hear that too.
That's good. That makes sense. Okay. So, all right, we'll do one at a time. Would anybody like to nominate Christina?
I'll nominate Christina.
I'll second it.
Okay.
I almost feel like they should come to the next meeting. Come back another time before we vote.
I don't.
Yeah.
No, I disagree. You usually have a vetting meeting, which is what this was. And then unless people feel strongly that, one or all of them don't work, I say, let's move. I think the next
Yeah.
meeting, if we have others, if we bring in the one that General Thunder's talking about, if that's a board position, I think Eliane's right. I think a male's going to show up too. And I
I
wonder,
don't know.
I want
I
to
think they
see,
should just come to the heart meeting.
huh?
What? You broke.
Could you
couldn't hear.
repeat
I said
that,
I think they
Shamini?
should. I think I'd like to. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you hear? Yeah, I'd like them to come to the heart share meeting before I vote.
Okay, you
I'm
can,
not saying anything against them. I
No,
think it's
you can
great for
abstain.
momentum to just go, but I think it's
you can
important.
abstain. Absolutely. That's an absolute thing. So for now, I've got a nomination and a second on Christina. We've got one abstain. Anybody else? I bet I vote yay.
I still think even though we're voting at the moment, Shamini, I think inviting them to that meeting would be good also.
Okay.
Just that getting to know each other.
So we're gonna do
See
that
your
as,
point in that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do it as abstain, not nay, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There is this thing that I'm feeling
Yep.
is that they're needed at this point.
Yes.
So somehow I do agree to have them in, but voting again after the heart thing is completely okay. Completely okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Because
Okay.
there is a point where we
Good.
can also request if it's not working for them to not then be part of it. So we're
Yep.
also going to check it out. If it works out, amazing. If it doesn't, we ask them to step down.
Okay, good.
Which I mean, I don't see happening, but I just want to
No,
make
I
sure.
don't
Yeah,
either. But
yeah,
what
just
I'm,
putting,
yeah,
just
I was
putting.
just taking it through procedure and the nomination was on the table. So that's good. For now, we put everything on abstain until after the board meeting. So in the first one, Christina, we abstained. We didn't say yay or nay. Good
Yeah.
enough? Good. I don't know if anyone's ever going to check our records, but I'd like to try to keep it as clean as we can.
Yeah.
Woo.
I've missed you guys.
You too. It's pretty interesting the way that worked. We needed that time. We needed to be out there connecting. I really felt that. So when it happened, I really wasn't that surprised.
I needed a little bit of that, but I
Yeah.
also was getting burnout, so I needed a
Yep.
break.
Yep.
like you were saying.
Cool.
Was it you, Alian, saying this year's been full on? Yeah, I felt it that way, and I haven't had a break this year. It's just been learning after learning after learning
Yep,
without break.
exactly. Yes. Oh, and it it allowed me some space and time to work more with Hailey, but to also connect with Rameet. And there's some others here who are showing up as well. So yeah, I think it was a good connection time. And
Yeah.
Shami,
Yeah.
you seem to have a whole slate of programs coming, which is beautiful.
Hmm.
That's
Been
Trying.
It's nice. Yeah, it's nice to have a knowledge of what you're doing, Charmaine, because one thing I try and do is post links to anything any of you are doing on my page just to keep getting that word out as much as possible.
Thank you. Yeah, I
Yeah.
have a hard time keeping up with my fucking social media. It's driving me crazy.
It's all right. You can throw it out
So what
the
we've been doing,
10th floor window.
yeah, what Cami and I have been doing to kind of help with that motivation is we've been trying to have meetings every Monday that are like work meetings. So it's like we have our individual goals and our goals in our collaboration, which we call Soul Honey, SOL, because I'm Wild Soul and she's Honey Seed Holistics. So we're Soul Honey collaborations. And that's been helping. Today we did not do that, and I actually had a major self-care day because I started working 8-hour shifts for the first time in 11 years.
Wow, yeah.
I'm a receptionist at the ski valley, so I can snowboard and have a consistent revenue coming in. It's a
That'll be quite
big deal.
unique for you.
I've put in some 10 to 12-hour days in a row lately, and used to be easy back in the day. Not so much now.
Yeah.
Even for me at like
Yeah.
41,
Okay.
and that last project, it was intense. It was
yeah.
fingers were swollen and
Oh,
my back, and energetically it was intense. It was intense. I mean, beautiful, bad intense, but intense. So
I'm
I'm
giving
also
you
not as sick as I thought I
massage
was. I need it, Shami.
I need, bless your hands. Can everyone put your hands up to the screen? Bless all, Jim. Bless all of our hands in the creation. I'm waiting. Bless all of our hands, every bone, every blood cell flowing, all of the white blood cells. Bless every muscle. May they move and groove and feel all of the magic, receiving as much as they are giving. Bless all of your hands as they help you come into fruition and manifestation of what our vision is, collectively and individually.
Thank you. Jim, there's another funny thing. You keep saying wings of wisdom. No, I don't know why I hear that.
I
Just
don't
might
know
be.
why.
Maybe it's wings of wisdom this year.
Maybe it is.
We're doing
Good
this.
point. Yeah.
It changes with the season. We're changing seasons, and maybe we change an element.
Yep. I like
You
that.
kept saying it,
See,
and I kept.
thank you, Eliane. I was having a vision. That's all.
A senior vision, an
A
elder
senior
vision.
moment. Yes, it was a vision. Ah.
Oh,
Do you guys feel a massive ending now? Soon is happening,
Yes.
and like a huge and there's that period in between. We're in that.
Yes, I do feel that, and there's a lot of shock waves coming. There's
Yeah.
stuff coming that, wow. I'm getting people slammed. We're feeling it. Haley's definitely feeling it. The younger ones are feeling it hard. They haven't been through this before. I've got some friends that have had some incredible health issues. Yeah, I mean, it's just Rod, who has the Sweat Lodge site up in Fort Collins, my buddy there, ended up in the hospital after passing out for long periods of time. And took him 3 days, and he's got Legionnaire's disease. They haven't seen it in 25 or 30 years. So everything is quite bizarre.
There's also this thing about timings.
Oh, hi.
Yep. Yep.
I was waiting for the
Yeah. How was your
installation
day? How
to
was the
reach
rest of
Brisbane, which it
Mhm.
could, like, for whatever reason, left here suddenly in a good way. And then
Yep.
it got stuck at customs. It just reached today.
Yeah.
And then today, some payment opened up. And it's just the meeting is today. I got another mail. So something opened up today, something big today, somehow. I don't know why.
Okay.
There's
I-
timing. So we're saying these things of things being delayed and stuff. But the thing is, there is something about alignments and
Uh-huh.
timing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think you're
definitely.
right. I think you're right.
You think?
I think the whole, the whole past, present, and future being one is hitting us right in the kisser.
Yeah.
And I find myself standing in one place and then a minute later standing in one of the others.
No, I'm gonna bring her with me.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of floating through it. I'm just moving and things are just moving. I have no clue. Like before, there used to be a surety, there used to be a
Yep.
vision, there used to be
Yep.
something. Now there's nothing. There's just move, just do, just be.
And that's all we can do. And
Yeah.
some fear things were coming up for me, like this place. I don't know how to pay the bills this coming month, but I have to let it go. Whatever happens is going to happen.
You'll come.
And
I
and
just,
take the actions for it to cultivate happening as
oh
well.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can try and manifest anything we want by just prayer, but we have to put the action in for the prayers to manifest.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
think.
No,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. People
Yeah.
that pray to God and then sit back and wait for it to happen are going to wait a
Yeah.
damn long time, unless they're in New Zealand. That's the only caveat.
Jim, there is this thing about the room. A lot of times people who really need the space and it's aligned, they also pay part like the rent thing, but they
Yeah.
pay for repairs and stuff, and their rent gets kind of canceled out from it. So
Mhm.
maybe some situation like that could also be something to think about.
They
Like we
do
had
what? And then it get
Yeah.
canceled out?
Oh, like we had rented a house, but the house needed repairs. So it was like
Ah,
an advance, or the repairs were paid for, but the rent was kind of canceled out from the repair payments.
No. Yeah.
okay, yeah. Also, residency programs. We talked about that when I was there. You know, like the what's it called? The
Artist,
yeah, like having residency, yeah, like artist residency or like kind of like spiritual residency, like
yeah.
come
Hmm.
come learn the ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's down the road a ways. We
I'm
got a
gonna
lot.
volunteer to come for it.
Please.
Or it's like working with a
Please.
nonprofit,
You can come
How do you,
anytime.
that might be a great way to get like internships for like someone helping with the nonprofit. That's their focus. They come and do residency to learn how to build and support nonprofit organizations. That could be something good too.
Well, and I still think part of this will be the house, two houses down. Ishami, it's a real nice one, has two decks, has a wall around it, if you remember it.
Yeah.
They're native and they want to move back into the res. I'm still seeing we're going to acquire more properties up around here. And this becomes a hub for this. And then that other big piece of property is 314 acres that the other people were working on. We're going to be a
Right.
partner for them, but I'm not going to do much work, just show up for meetings. And then we've got Christina's. So it's just doing this.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
will come about. I'm just in the short term. I'm not used to that. I'm an old business person who always managed to find the way to move ahead, and I'm stymied at the moment. So it's really, yeah, and that's just one of many challenges going on.
I think
But
they're asking us to surrender somehow. For me
yeah,
also, this
yes,
no control is quite, unsettling.
I
Totally.
agree.
I didn't know how I was gonna come up with because my housemate's moving out, and then I was like,
Right.
okay, cool. I'm gonna have to come up with a month rent and then deposit, and who knows, maybe security too. And I was like, that could be almost $4,000. And I
Yep.
was like, I can't do that. That's my root chakra instability coming. And then they were like, okay, just December rent deposit, And I somehow got a check that came in that covered that. And
Yeah.
a new housemate that already paid me her portion of the rent for December. So
Mm.
definitely a surrender moments, that's for damn sure.
Oh, yeah. And I've been surrendering to a lot of things. Chris knows some because I call him up and say, "Hey, Chris, what do I do?"
What do I do?
So yeah, it's yeah. And you're right. That is what part of the challenges are right now.
Yeah.
I've surrendered to a lot of things. Apparently, we have to surrender even more. As Sodom, we need to surrender and know that this is now we're ready to move ahead.
Yeah.
And a big lot of it is learning to let go of any attachments we have,
Oh yeah.
trusting the flow. And
Mm-hmm.
the only way to do that is through heart space.
Mm-hmm.
Or
And we're
noticing
sort of,
even what's, oh, sorry.
yeah, no, I'm just saying it's rocking through lately, I find,
Mm-hmm.
because we need our hearts to listen,
Yeah.
when we get attached to certain things, being certain ways,
Mm-hmm.
we sort of go to our heads with it, whereas it's just being in our hearts all the way,
Mm-hmm.
learning how to come from that place, learning how to share, talk, walk, sleep, eat, and then work with other people from that place.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. It's yeah. Hmm.
I've been
Yeah.
working, like, for many years, I've, loved the, right, you have this Buddhist philosophy of attachment, non-attachment, right? And I've
Yeah.
been feeling into lately, like, it's almost a matter for me now at this point of like a matter of what's healthy attachment and unhealthy attachment. Because like getting rid of all attachments seems very I don't know, it just seems
We're human.
exactly. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is it healthy? Is it
Speak for
unhealthy?
yourself.
It seems unattainable,
Yeah. I find when I go through big periods of change, I feel like everything I know has been taken away. And that's where I experience there's nothing left to attach to, but I'll always watch anything that can disappear in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
The way the Course in Miracles puts it, anything real cannot be lost. That which can be lost is not real.
Oh,
So we
I love
start
when you said
finding,
that.
yeah. And I find that a big guide. And when we feel everything that we know it's usually a brain activity. So the illusions and the attachments we have in the brain have been stripped away in that moment. And it's the ideal moment to actually find what is the sense of self that's left, which for me, literally is just like a point of consciousness or a point of light left in my heart. That's it. Everything else is gone. And having been through it enough times now, I'm learning to trust the process. It doesn't say I don't feel stretched, because I certainly do, but I trust the process now.
I think you gave me the answer, the keyword, learning to trust the process. I'm here trying to fight and find control sometimes, and sometimes also it's,
Really?
yeah, sometimes it's intense, sometimes, not always.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are these moments where then it's also indulging with the whatever's coming up kind of a thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Those are intense. They're sometimes so difficult to kind of keep away from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One of the things that I look at with control is actually impossible, because usually for most of us, control is over something external. But even when we try and control something internal, everything inside us has its own program, its own path. And the part that tries to control is always the brain activity, because awareness and consciousness has no need of it. They just understand. So when we start understanding, we see we don't have control, but what we do is we have choices available in each and every moment, and we learn to make those choices. Control usually focuses on one outcome, whereas choices, we make a choice and then we see we have a whole lot more choices from that first choice. And the second choice gives us a whole lot of other choices for the third choice, and they just keep rippling through. We're in a constant state of choosing, which I find is empowering, whereas control can always be taken away, and that is disempowering. When I look at what's good growth, it's that which I feel enhanced by. My life energy feels uplifted. I feel more connected, more conscious, more whole. If something takes me away from any of those things, I see that as a detractive. Well, to me, that's not growth. That's, just a taking
So I
away.
have a question.
Yeah,
So when there are, for example, like programming within the self,
yeah,
there are patterns of, say, um, clenching, for example, it's a very physical
yeah,
thing, or triggers that activate these clenches and these stress moments, which one is
yeah,
aware of, and one is breathing through them, or trying to find other stretches and things to do. But some of
yeah,
them are really hardwired,
yeah,
so it's really difficult to it takes a while,
yeah,
those
definitely.
reactions for those, because they're very traumatic self-preservation reactions.
Yeah,
It's almost like cocooning, almost like
yeah,
holding tight while the storm comes through. So I'm going through those right now, and some of the letting goes are very, very difficult.
yeah. One of the big things that I've found with trauma relies on us being less than whole, having a less than whole image of ourselves. So one of the things that I've had to go through since coming back from America is standing fully present in myself. Because before I came to America, I sort of operated at 80%. The rest was attached to self-worth images or, poor self-worth, um, confidence issues and things like that. And a friend said to me when I came to America last time, she says, if you can't be here 100%, don't come. So I stepped up and was present while I was there. But I noticed when I came back to New Zealand, I went back to my comfort zone of 80% and all the old issues came up. So I've had to work through those. And one of the images that came to mind, believe it or not, I was shown by the mother, was guided to stand at the top of the hill and fully inhabit my body 100%, see myself looking forward at what's in front of me and feeling the confidence I had to travel this journey. And in standing fully present, I just happened to notice that the trauma was disappearing into the background, like it was literally unable to maintain itself. And I noticed to have the trauma or maintain it, I had to have a less than whole image. Both trauma and fear depend on us being less than whole. So when we work on our wholeness, which is just inhabiting our body completely, being fully here, even if I don't understand something, be with not understanding, which means I can observe until I understand. It's okay to observe. It's all right to sit with this until I know, and it's watching all those little stories. Like you're supposed to know what you're doing. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to do. Whoever said that? I didn't have an instruction manual when I'm born, and I'm pretty sure I didn't give anybody permission to write one for me. So, I look at my own rules, not what I've picked up through culture, through religion, through parents, through society, power figures, police, whatever comes to mind, teachers. A lot of what we're doing is learning to undo the stories. And I find all those clenching movements always have a story behind them. So I drop into the story, I look at who taught me this, where did I learn it, what would the opposite of this look like? If I undid this and found a new way, what would it look like? The other thing is I go back to the original event where I picked up this story and look, okay, if I came through the same balanced way, being fully present and honoring me, often as the child, what would I be looking at in myself? What would I be honoring and acknowledging? What would I
Mhm.
do to support myself through this moment?
Yes.
You know, because one of the big issues is we often get to situations and feel we're invisible, we're not allowed to be here, we were condemned or put down or invalidated or unheard. You know, all these things can have effect either individually or cumulatively. But I always go back to what was the original event, and I let the person's name or image or the event appear in mind. And then I look at coming through that and empowering myself by being present at each step of the way.
I've
And
been working on making myself feel safe. I think
yeah,
that's where it comes from. So, like you do a healing for somebody else, but it's for oneself.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I've been sitting
yeah,
with parts of myself and speaking and holding and asking, what do you need? What do you need from me? So
yeah,
it's working. So it is a very slow process.
yeah.
Mhm.
Some things that I
Yeah.
find we can work through like that quickly. They're what I call the one-hit wonders. The other ones are like peeling an onion.
Yes.
You think
So
Yeah.
I've
you've
been
done
working
it,
on.
and then yeah, and another layer comes up. I just honor whichever way it emerges. I have learned to treat myself kindly because I find if I'm harsh on it or I get hard on myself, I'm just re-traumatizing myself.
Mhm.
And I realize I'm doing the damage through repeating the behavior. So I look at
Yes.
what behavior nurtures, nourishes, and condones me, you know, which is once again in an empowering way. It gives me permission to be here.
Mhm.
Um, and it's all right to be a child. It's all right to not understand. It's all right not to know. And it's all right to ask questions and say, this isn't okay behavior, you know, and stand up for what is right, you know,
Mhm.
within ourselves. Because the first person we need to hear ourselves is ourselves. Because when we're listening to somebody else, we're not hearing ourselves and we're not preserving the parts of ourselves that are getting damaged through that process. And we can do that. I found it's
Mhm.
doable. And when I learned to preserve those parts of me by honoring them, I don't need my parents to agree with me. I don't need them to feel okay. As long as I feel okay, it's like, yeah, this is my child and this is the way I like being a child.
Yes.
You know, and it's all right to grow up through this childhood and bring it right through here to now, today,
Yes.
bringing all those
Mhm.
changes with me and whatever parts of me needed to be acknowledged along the way.
Yes.
You know, and sometimes I just sit down and play with my inner child at whatever age each trauma or each experience was initiated, you know.
Mhm.
And that's all we're doing. The parts that are left behind are the ones that haven't been able to get past that event. So we
It's
go back and listen to
like the
them.
fractured parts of the soul, no?
Yeah, literally.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's a
I'm
good
really sorry, but I
go
will
for it.
have to go. Yeah, soon. I have to
Yep.
make some calls and eat food. I'm hungry.
I'm
Yes, I
Christopher.
hear that, sister.
Pleased to meet you in Hungary.
Oh, lots of
I will,
love to everybody.
we'll
I
catch
have
you later.
to catch
I
you
love
guys.
you all so
So
much.
Yeah,
Yep.
likewise.
Hey, Shami, I was just on with Ryan. I told him you would reach out. I couldn't figure out how to put you both on a thingy.
On a message?
He's coming your way in a few days.
Okay.
Cool.
He's a good partner, and he's close to you. That might something might click there.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm down to meet him.
yeah.
If he's got
Well,
something going on, I'm down to attend too, if it's open.
mm,
It's so
it's
funny,
been a
Jim. You're right there. Move your head to the right a little bit. Yeah, you got the horns on you.
I hadn't noticed. You gotta love it. Yeah.
Mm.
It's been loving touching base with you,
Yes,
Shani, too.
indeed.
And thank you, sister. It's been an absolute
Thank
pleasure.
you.
And when I get over there, if there's a chance to do something together at the sanctuary, I'm open to that. If traveling
Duh,
around
come
the
on.
area. Oh, yeah. Cool.
Duh, of course.
Boom. Love it. Yeah. So looking forward to it.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right, love you guys. I'm out. I'm
Catch
talked
ya.
out. It's 10 o'clock. Peace.
Okay. Yep. We'll
I'm
catch you.
sending out the PDF of our meeting minutes, all right?
Cool. Take
And I
care.
just
Be well.
reorganized things with the dates in the meeting agenda minutes on Google Drive, so.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna
right.
head off as well.
Perfect. Let's call in someone who does web design, huh? Our website sucks right now. I hate it.
Yep.
It's got
Cool.
good components, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
It needs work.
yeah, it does. Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay. Bye. See ya.
Stop the recording. Save it. Post it on YouTube. Ah! Make sure in the caption it says, feel free to donate to Sodom at link PayPal. Love you.
Love you too. Right. Anything we need to cover? Can't hear you.
I didn't do anything. How about now?
Yep. Perfect.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Anything when you're in?
Not that I can think of. I'm pretty
I didn't
talked out.
I didn't expect to have three of them sitting there that way. Just, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. The Christina, I feel she's already in the zone.
Oh yeah.
Rameet,
She's an
she can,
lady.
yeah, she's got a lot. She's very logical minded. I'm not sure if that could bring a clash with it at point, but if we can talk it round.
Rameet. Rameet is both, and I liked that. And we will
Yeah.
have to remember which one we're talking to.
Yeah, which can be a little bit the way Gentle Thunder can be as well.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And yet we need some of that logical too,
we do.
because you and I are not good at promoting what we do.
No, we're disastrous at it. We're
Right.
good at talking.
Oh yeah.
Both of us
Oh,
can
yeah.
talk to the cows come home, put us in front of a group or a meeting, and we can just go for it.
Yeah.
That's where our forte lies. But yeah, the advertising, we definitely do with assistance there.
Yep.
You know, especially if we're looking at doing these waves or, you know, wings or flippers of wisdom.
Tales of
Yeah.
wisdom.
Well, there's another one for you. Yeah. Okay.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
Thank
I'll
you.
head off. See ya. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.